This has been one hell of an experience. Have a look at that. Changing the car. Into the little bush. You can see inside. Yeah, guys, let's visit. Picking up his pictures, randomly just come up. Yeah, we're getting the ticket to go back to Tokyo for the night in the hotel. We'll be editing all this together. Possible. Do turning into children. We do that last Monday.
I'm with a cold sweat.
Hot sweat, man.
You said this were going home with you.
600 quid, wasn't it?
What? How much? Hey, oh, did you hear that?
No.
He said 600. Robin, that is a first time thing.
20 seconds.
Right, if I bid again, are you going to bid any more?
He's got that stonker face on his nose. 10, 9.
Well done, mate.
Well done. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. But then, do you not get? If you get a swipe, do you not? Does it not start to build up down?
Sorry, I had to do it.
You've eaten everything I've ever built on a slope, mate.
Sorry, I was trying to swallow a piece of pizza. Good evening, ladies and gents, and welcome back to the new kid on the block. And I just thought I'd get that one in the beginning there. The new kid on the block, apparently. GKP has only been going live for damn near 4 years, but apparently today I've been announced as the new kid on the block. So I thought we'd get that one in before we started off with anything else. Welcome to Gazza's Coip on Live, which has been broadcasted every Thursday night for nearly 4 years. In case any of you are wondering what that little rant's about, I went live today from work. It was a little bit of a disaster with the intro beginning part, but what we're going to try to do, and what I'm going to be doing from now on in, is every now and again, not a set weekly thing. It may be fortnightly, it may be once a month, depending on what we've got and what we can put out there. Is I'm going to be dropping a little bit of content from behind the scenes of exclusively Coip, where obviously I work, which I am the new kid on the block. But we're going to be banging out a little bit of content. We're going to be doing some videos on and live streams just to show the workings in and behind exclusively koi. But I got a comment today saying that I should be more respectful of the likes of. Yes, I got your Aragoki, Susan, and I've downloaded them. They're on the screen, and thanks to everybody else that's put them in. But I've got the videos ready to go and drop, and everybody else that's been posting them in. Thank you very much, all of you. I also have 5 Aragokis myself, and they're available for purchase. So we'll get into that later on. But yes, I've got both of them. One a butterfly Aragoki, you sneaked one in, and the other one a standard Aragoki. But we're yet to find out whether or not the fish that have been sent in fall into the Aragoki category. So I picked 5 different ones that we've got from Kobayashi Toshinobu. I think that's right. Apologies if it's wrong, but I think that's who they're from. And I picked different looking types of each one, different color, different types of scale patternation and all that type of thing, to see if we can get some confirmation as to which one is definitely Aragokia or whether it might be classed as a Deutz or whichever. So hopefully, fingers crossed, we've got a nice, good amount of fish to be looking at. But anyway, back to the rant. Vince, I hope I didn't upset you, mate. And I'm pretty sure that even if I did, you would have sent me a message or sent something across, as you've been doing lives from New Forest Koi for many a year, and there might be a clash where we may be live at the same time throughout the day, mate. But I don't think it's going to be an issue for you, nor do I think it'll be an issue for Rick. So I will try and negate a time when you're not on. But as you don't schedule yours and you do them sporadic, random, and you drop content with every day that ends in a Y, it's somewhat difficult to try not to come out as well. So hopefully, it's not going to be standing on anybody's toes. But I believe personally myself, in the grand scheme of things, we're aiming to different clientele. So there's no real issue, I don't think. But somebody told me I was the new kid on the block. That made me giggle. Not like we've not been doing these years for live, or these lives for years, and maybe anywhere have only just found us. I don't know. But appreciate you watching anyway, mate. But as I said on the live, I can't care about when everybody else goes live, because at the end of the day, there's thousands and thousands, there's millions and millions of channels out there, and there's somebody goes live constantly throughout the day, every day, all day. So there's always another function or another option for anybody that wants to watch it. Ikarashi Toshinobu. Thank you very much, mate. I did say it right. There's always another option. If you want to watch your favorite channel, not an issue. If you want to watch mine, watch it on the playback. It's not an issue. It's not a problem. As far as I'm concerned, it's going to be there. It will be there for anybody to watch as and whenever you want.
All right. I think we're in darkness, mate.
You're in the darkness. Do you want me to see if I can lighten it up a little bit for you? I don't know.
Well, it could be this computer's a bit old and dirty.
I don't even know if I can, mate, but I'll give it a try.
It's all right.
I can move. No, I won't do it.
No, I still look radiant. It's fine.
I'm sure there's something I can know. On mine, I can edit myself and lighten myself up a little bit, which I probably should do because I'm always
lighten yourself up, guys.
If I put that on, it's a little bit brighter, but it's coming to that time of year now, though, isn't it? It's getting to that point where it's dropping dark on an evening, and it's darker in the morning when we're setting off. The clocks are spring forward and fall back, so they'll be going back a bit before long.
Wouldn't it? Real good then. Someone moaning at you about your live.
No, not so much moaning, mate. Somebody turned around and said, you should really try and do this and not making me choose between you. So I said, you don't need to choose. You can watch me on the playback or you can watch them on the playback. It's not an issue. But then I got a little comment saying, as you're the new kid on the block, and I've only been doing YouTube for like 4.5 years. So, I mean, not really technically a new kid on the block, nor am I new to live streaming. There's about 800 odd of them to watch if you want. Maybe not that many.
God, you'd have to be bored to do that, wouldn't you?
You've got to be bored out your
Go through
brain.
the back catalogue.
Definitely got to be bored.
Right.
But yeah, topics wise, if anybody's actually, I did see one that was posted in. I did see one. There we go. We'll start off with this one. My bottle of formalin says kills skin flukes. So why don't we use formalin to kill flukes in the hobby? And is there a specific dose needed to kill flukes, or does it kill flukes too, or just skin flukes, or as in gill flukes too, or just skin flukes?
Most bottles of treatment say they kill everything, don't they?
There's a lot of them do, mate, don't there? There's a lot of them out there that says they absolutely annihilate everything, but
yeah, the dose you'd need to kill flukes with formalin is a dose that would be detrimental to the fish. Would be as far as I'll go with that one. Yeah.
How can they make such claims, though?
Because in the right circumstances, in the right environment, it probably would.
It might reduce the if you've got very strong, healthy fish in perfect conditions and very low numbers of flukes, it might knock them back a bit.
No, but then on the bottle, it's going to have a treatment level.
It is.
And that level's never going to kill flukes.
Bear with me. I've got a door knocking now. Good Lord.
Yeah, I reckon it's We've got another one from Aaron Mooney afterwards. And that's a
That's Christmas singers, carol singers. That's Zoe. You can tell it. You all right?
Jeez. Sorry. Ezra's just come back his laptop. I'm on an old one, which is why I'm all grey.
So you might be disconnecting, reconnecting.
I might, if he lets me have it. Bad, isn't it? When your 10-year-old's got a better technology than me.
No, mate. At the end of the day, that's what we're doing. It we provide for his kids, and his kids have the better things, so that so that they can have a better life than what we did, mate. So that's how it kind of is, isn't it?
But yeah, going back to treatments, mate. Yeah, you've got to use the right treatment for the right thing. Why are there fluke treatments out there? Because formalin doesn't work. I think bottles of malachite says it treats flukes, doesn't it? So yeah, you can't believe what's on a label. You have to ask people that have done it for years, and they'll tell you if you've got flukes, use a dedicated fluke treatment, and even those aren't as effective as you'd like most of the time. Otherwise,
even the ones that do the job.
This topic would go on and on and on, would it? About flukes that people can't kill.
They are bastards out there, and they do seem to be a difficult one to get rid of. But yeah, it's another one of those taboo subjects. If you start talking about what, where, and when, if it's something that anybody has got issues with or problems with, as we are here as a collective, there are many of us that can be approached and contacted if you need help with anything like that. So if you're struggling, pick up the phone and ring one of these. And we would have Crafty when he gets here later on. Hopefully, if he's not stuck in too much traffic. Mr. Hadfield, if you're watching, mate, just in case, it's Aragoki for tonight, bud. I have replied back, but you've gone offline. Sorry. I don't know if
he's got any Aragoki, is he?
I don't think he has either. I don't think he has got any Aragoki at all. If he has, it's one that I didn't know that he's got. So, topics for this evening then. We'll go on to this one because it's only really you, mate, that can actually answer this one. Evening all. Question regarding this year's Grown Show with a Difference, Welsh Dragons. In Rick's mind, how did he imagine the Welsh Dragon Sankey to look? Traditional Sankey or more the heavy Sumi marking Dragon Ball Sankey?
To be fair, the Dragon Balls, you're going back a generation. So there's one shower in 4 fish on the Sakai side, and then it's all Sankey. So yeah, Sankeys basically. But there's more good Kahakus amongst them than I'd have expected. But this is what you should be getting.
Welsh dragons, you should be getting them.
I thought they'd all have a nice red Welsh dragon on them. But they haven't. But yeah, no, to be fair, the Dragon Ball line is, for the parent we've got, 25% of his genetics is Showa. So by the time you cross that with another pure, you've got such a small amount of Showa in the genetics that it was more just normal Sankey, perhaps slightly heavier Sumi, but to be fair, that's not really the case. But the Kahakus have come out really well. That's more of a surprise. The Kahaku's generally a fish from the spawning.
Yeah, no, they end up with a weaker pattern, or do they end up losing Benny or that kind of thing if it's from that kind of line? Or
shouldn't they? I think what I'll do, I'm going to pick some of our best Kahakus from the Kahaku spawnings and the best Sankeys from the best Kahakus from the Sankeys, and follow them on longer term
and see how they do, see how they progress as a new line.
Yeah, but not so much a new line, just if you follow them for a couple of years to see if those Kahaku from the Sankeys really stay good, because at the minute they're better than our Kahakus. Kind of means why bother doing the Kahakus when you get better Kahakus from the Sankeys as well as your Sankeys.
Are you likely to get Sumi come up on them at a later date, though?
No, but if you look at Sakai Fish Farm's family tree and Momotero's family tree, they got Kahaku Sankey crossed together all over the place.
Yeah.
So you'd think in your head you might get more shimmies, but of all the bloodlines I've ever used to get more shimmies are the Maxway line that have got no Sankey in them. So go figure. It doesn't necessarily follow true, but yeah, both Sakai Fish Farm and Momotaro, you can follow a lot of their whole family trees and what they've done. And a lot of their best Kahakus have got Sankey blood in them, and a lot of their best Sankeys have got Kahaku blood in them. So,
is that because they cross the Sankey line into the Sankey into the Kahaku to strengthen them up?
I think they did it originally. It was to get the
size, the body, the
best Sankeys in the world 20 years ago were from the Matsunoski line that grew really long but didn't have the bodies, and the best Kahakus have massive bodies but didn't grow long. So
they crossed them
crossed them to try and create those sort of meter-long, big structured fish, which they've done in Kahaku and Sankey. So yeah, you can sort of follow that. You can follow those farms and follow their bloodlines, and actually come back to quite a small number of fish where those genetics source from. And yeah, the Matsunoski, the Mako line at Momotaro, and they went to Sakai Fish Farm, and then the Kagura Kahaku, and so they all sort of come together to create what the breeder wants.
And is it right, Rick? I'm not going to say years, but 10 spawning sessions, let's say, or 10 times to get an established true line, if you get what I mean. Take a parent set, cross that parent set with two sets of parent sets, produce young from both them, depending on how well they do. Put those young back to the young, or the mother back to the daughter, the father back to the daughter, the mother back to the son, cross them back over and do all that kind of. Is it right that it takes roughly around 10 spawnings to get a settled, achieved point finished fish?
No, I mean, it's quicker than that, probably about 4 generations, but you obviously weaken them big time when you start crossing that close genetics. That's when you start ending up with it depends on obviously how you select fish now is perhaps different to what it was a few generations ago, and you can follow stuff so much easier now with photography, seeing what their growth does and their longevity, which is something the longevity is something that kind of disappeared 10 years ago, and everyone was chasing these jumbo fish and growing really fast, and then suddenly finding they didn't live quite as long as they used to.
So they have to then cross something back in them to give them the fish the longevity again, which adds a little bit more.
Different farm. I mean, you've got to be a well-established farm or a hobbyist to be able to go, right, I'm going to cross this big 1 meter magoi with my Sankey line to make him bigger and stronger and have 4 generations of making no money. You've got to have a lot of income elsewhere to cover that, or you've got to be doing it as a hobbyist where it's just purely to see the outcome. That's those sort of family trees of those big bloodlines. They're not, it doesn't go that far back, and suddenly all farms are using offspring from one farm or another farm that's producing the best fish. And
so, how do they determine what the finished product is supposed to look like? It's a bit like the golden corn.
That's the thing, they don't know, do they? If you're fish farm A and your goal, so Momotero's goal 15 years ago was to produce meat along Go Sankey of quality. That was their goal. So they were just striving to achieve the growth and the quality, whereas another fish farm might be, well, I want fish that look good for years. Longevity might be my outcome. And someone else might want amazing sumi and big bodies, but they don't care if they only grow to 50, 60 centimeters. So each farmer will have an idea in their head of what they're trying to achieve and select parents to go down that path. The golden corn was just something he was trying to produce a particular fish that had the Kanoko that can grow big and have certain elements to it that farm wanted.
Because you see such variance on it, and this week I've seen a post from somebody that had a bowl of them all for sale, and they were all so different.
Yeah, but do they all look so much different? I mean, what size was it, Matt? Are these, we're talking 25?
No, I think it was like 30 centimeters.
About 30 centimeters. Do you not think that they're not really finished until like 3-4 years when they start to get all that proper Kanoko up and all that patterning and everything, all that separation within the scalation?
Possibly, but they were so different. Even the base color of them. One was white and the other one was yellow. Yeah. And then it's like
they're just good. Yeah, but they're good examples. So they're fish that have got good structure, good characteristics, and they will all look different when they're fully grown. But one might look like a yellow asagi, and the next one might look like a snow asagi with Kanoko, and another one might look almost solid orange.
But what is supposed to be the finished product? Because,
if you look at the main one that won at the shows was a basically solid coloured fish.
Yeah, I think as well.
Different colours through the scale, whereas a lot of the ones you see are more the Kanokos separate. So you've got 2 different coloured fish and whatever. So you get. There isn't. I don't think there isn't an exact. You're just looking for the good qualities about it. Size, bone structure, skin quality, and a pattern or a Kanoko effect that looks nice. And whether that's all one solid color with a yellow background with a darker orange heart to every scale or whatever, or whether it's more like a yellow asagi with different. Yeah, it doesn't. It's not right. They're not going to judge it. It's not like at a show where you've got Kahaku as a separate entity. Golden Corn are just going to be chucked in with Kwarigoi and whatever. They're not they don't hold their own anything different, do they? They're just mixed in with. It'll be judged alongside Matsukawa Baki and Uchiba and all sorts of whatever else, wouldn't it?
I mean, looking online now, there is so many varieties, but I've got to agree with what Vince has said there. A lot of them do look like more Asagi, but they are bred from the Asagi line, aren't they?
Yeah, but
we all know what that one particular one looked like in the magazine, didn't we? On the front cover job, that was an absolute belter. To me, now if they all look like that, I could go, 100%, I'm behind them. But then again,
it's one of those fish, isn't it? The advertise, the media and the advertising behind it has made people want them and appreciate them. Whereas 10 years ago, you might have been picking them up as from another breeder as a cross that they've done as something that's it looks nice as a big fish, but it's got no true value. Now they're sought after. Benigoi, Shiro Muji, for Christ's sake, taking prize stuff.
Yeah.
a good example of any fish is a good example of any fish, isn't it? It's just,
Agreed, Rick. Yeah, I'd agree with that as well, mate. But saying it's the only real variety, excuse me, that has so many different variations to it. Out of every other variety of koi that's out there, I mean, oh yeah, you could say Matsukawa Baki has different variations of black and white with a ginrin. Or you could, there are other sort of similar asagis, for example. Some of them are Kanoko, some of them aren't. Some of them have got snow white variants. But with the golden corn, they do look so, as Matt said, there's not one fish identical, is there? Without to say, okay, right, that one looks very much like that one, but it's totally different shades of colour. And then the only telltale signs is the Kanoko effect.
But is that? Well, I mean, that's not a bad thing, is it? It just means judging them will basically be impossible because you haven't got. All right, in Japan it might be easier. You're just judging on overall appearance or whatever. But when you come down to a set of guidelines, where do you even start with someone like that? Because some of them, like I say, look like quite poor asagi if you were looking for rich Benny, but actually they're nice fish in themselves, aren't they? So.
I mean,
I don't know.
Well, it'd be like having a Benny guy with translucent pectorals.
And
It could
dark part of the scale and a light edge with a bit of cadogin.
Yeah.
That's a different. You said this before, haven't you, about the Benny guy?
But
it is. I forgot the name. What's it called? When it's got the white outlines to the pectorals, it's got a different name, hasn't it? It's not called a Benny guy. It's got a different name. I forgot what it is. Anybody comments if you can let me know if you remember what it is. It's got a different name.
There's so many, we all talk about Matsukawa Baki, but actually there's black and white fish. You've got shitloads of names. If you go back through old books from pure black ones with white tips to their fins that are called Jira or whatever, and then you get ones that have got white underside, have got another name, and then you get we sort of all chuck them all in as Matsukawa Baki or whatever. It's black and white and it changes, but actually, there's a greater set of names. But at the end of the day, again, they all just get chucked in the same. When you're judging fish, they all go in the same sort of category, and it's to do with quality. And it's body shape, skin quality, what the fish looks like on the day.
Yeah. Rob said they're more like an orange yogurt.
Yellow monkeys next if you want. Yellow monkeys, brown monkeys, white monkeys, liver and orange monkeys.
I mean, mate, they're all. It's like they're just new variations of the same fashion, so to speak.
They're not even new variations. Those variations would have been there, but the demand for the fish surely has grown, and they can sell the ones that they would have culled. They perhaps keep some now. So when they first did them, they probably only kept those that had the real nice yellowy golden luster.
But isn't that only yellow luster at point of sale? Because as you know, with my two yellow monkeys, I've got now one.
Chagoy and a yellow monkey.
It's not now. It's called a brown monkey, isn't it? And the yellow.
It's not though, is it? You've got a Krashigoy and
an orange monkey.
But that's
same water, same feed, same pond.
I think if you just take away the name, you put them in a bowl and ask someone, they go, well, you got a Chagoy, a Krashigoy, a Benigoy, a Shiro Muji, a Soro.
Technically, that's if the white monkey is a Ginrin Shuramuji, isn't it?
So it just comes with the name. It's got the body structure, it's going to grow big, and technically it can still look amazing. It's just, who knows, mate?
Quick one then for you, Rick. Hang about. No, sorry, Paul. Wrong one, mate. You did put up another one before that. Oh no, sorry, that is his first one. How and where do koi get flukes from?
Basically, they're a natural So every sort of natural mud pond, every natural ecosystem will basically have flukes in it. So if you start, as we do, when you hand strip the fish and you put them into sterile conditions, you will never see a fluke. And if you could keep fish in that environment its whole life, it would never, its immune system would be rubbish because it'd never see anything, but it would never have any problems. But as you go through the process from the water source to mixing with other fish, that's where they pick them up from. So from the farm, the first place they probably get them is at the farm where they're produced. Second place they'll get them is at the dealer where they're quarantined or mixed or put wherever. And then with stock and flukes is basically you it's like any parasite, isn't it? If you've got a water body that's completely sterile and a fish that's completely sterile, they cannot get parasites.
Yeah.
But there's no such, they can pick up parasites through the mud ponds, through mixing stock. It's like anything. Where do we get a cold from? If we sat on our own in a bedroom, we wouldn't get a cold. As soon as you go outside,
you
pick it up.
Else or whatever. Bob's your uncle.
But yeah, it's basically so it's just passed on through those sort of environments. And as much as you try and keep things as sterile as you can end up with a product. Like we have an issue with our young fish to a point where when they leave us and they go to other people's ponds, it's such a shock to them to meet 10 different parasite, bacterial, viral things that those fish live happily with, and the youngsters just can't cope.
Yeah.
So you've got to toughen fish up bit by bit to make them sellable. And whether that's encountering costia, flukes, white spot, sleeping sickness, you don't do it with the more dangerous diseases you avoid. Yeah, that's kind of part and parcel, isn't it? Which is why they're notifiable, why they're tested for, and why they shouldn't be coming across those things. But white spot stuff is something that was dormant on an old fish. It just you can't have a disease-free fish that will go into your pond and be happy, because it will then go in your pond and meet so many new problems.
That's as you just said there earlier. It's the same as us sitting in your bedroom. It's just the same as us when your kids start going to nursery or start going to school. They come down with absolutely everything, and you bring home all sorts of bugs for everybody else. It's the same thing, isn't it? It's naive fish can't remain naive.
A big parasite like nits, which is head lice or whatever on kids, is something that's big and noticeable, but how does that spread? It spreads, doesn't it? It goes from kid to kid in school, wherever. It can right down to virus. Exactly the same, isn't it? I'm that, so I'm itching already.
Well, Paul, quick second question that he's got there as well, because this is only you that's going to be able to answer this one, mate. Question for Rick: what varieties of koi do we get to pick from at your silver ticket event?
I don't know what. It's just a ticket event. I'm not sure if gold, silver, or bronze. I don't know yet. I've not done them. Was all right? To pick No, there's not 1,000 fish. There's going to be 1,000 fish available on the day that have not been available, but there will be, like I did last year. So we'll have some ponds separated out the way where they can go and select a fish that won't be on general sale, will never be on general sale at that point. And I think the varieties, I don't know yet, because I've not done them. Everything I can think of that we've got.
As much as you've got that you can possibly make available.
Yeah, it's got to be in the right. They've got to be the right size and the right sort of price range, so they're worth a lot more than the 50 quid, but they're not £1,000 fish. They're all going to be.
Right. What about this one? The budget pond keeper. What was the earliest known koi breed? Go on, Matt.
Well, I did this on radio one day.
On Radio 1 day?
On one of the radio channels. It was, Rick, you done it as well, didn't you? It was, guess your occupation, where they'd ask you a load of questions to see if they could guess what your job was. It wasn't in Japan, it was in China anyway. Is that right, Rick?
Yeah, they started in China.
Yeah.
I thought it was like just literally like a Benny-goy or whatever, just an orange. But it might not have been. You think Chagoy are pretty... Anything that's got a different colour variant to the norm.
Probably the first one that came out didn't even have a name to it. It just had a
Magoy.
weird pattern on it.
Magoy was just basically the original carp, innit?
The original carp, wasn't it, that they used to have as an eating fish, and they also use them to keep the rice fields parasite free, didn't they?
Yeah, so basically it's a byproduct, isn't it? But I thought the first ones were either Sorogoy or Benigoy. So you had that variant of colour, which were then kept and bred from, and obviously from there you go on down your different lines, didn't you? Google it. I don't know.
I am the 5th century BCE, and it was in China, and it wasn't actually really known as a koi. It was just a different coloured.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And in China, as mentioned, but the Japanese developed, and what I remember, wasn't it a gift from the Chinese to the Japanese emperor?
Probably. Laced with some dynamite or KHV for them. Secret Trojan horse. Take that.
And the Deutz variety was created as a food source rather than...
But the earliest type of ornamental koi, also called Nishiki goi, were the Asage magoi, the black wild carp from which they descended. But before that, the first red and white varieties like kahaku, these were early forms, emerged from the common carp in Japan, evolving from a food source into decorative fish during the late 19th and early 20th century. But yes,
public awareness. The world was first introduced to these living jewels at a major exposition in Tokyo in 1914, which sparked widespread interest and popularity.
Over 25 coloured carp were displayed in a public in 1914 at Tashio exhibition in Tokyo, including early forms of the modern kahaku.
Were you there, Rick?
Yeah, I did it, mate. I was there. I had stolen everything. It's mad, though, isn't it? It's not much more than 100 years, and now you've got the level of fish.
Yeah,
it's just mad.
Mark Togneri says it's nicknames to get more dollars out of us. I reckon you might be right, mate. Eventually, you get to change things up a little bit. But I mean, that's no different in turning around and saying, like, right, Ford's bringing out the Capri again with a new vamp on it, new body, new chassis, all the rest of it, new engine. It ain't a Capri; it's a completely new car. But they're going to keep that badge on it and call it that name, Capri. Similar sort of thing, but vice versa.
Like the Defender. But they bought the new Defender. I mean, they're bloody totally different, don't they, to the old Defender?
Oh, that's that one there as well.
It's a way of putting a name on something, isn't it, from a farm or wherever. But people know about it. But yeah, in reality, a yellow dragon is still a Deutz Matsuba. A yellow monkey is still a Gimrin Krashigoi. It is what it is, isn't it? You don't get very many new things. A golden corn, at least, is it's a different variety as such. But that's come along all the time, really, don't they? Lots of farms try and produce new stuff. Most of them disappear down the wind because they look bloody horrible.
I mean, there's lots of stuff that you can see that come out in random spawnings when you see flock spawns that are done, and you look at a thing and you think, wow, I mean, that's quite nice. But trying to reproduce that is narrow and impossible, isn't it? But sometimes
that's getting a consistency in it. So, yeah, what was the ones that? I don't eat the bronze samurais or whatever. And you look at them and you think, well, that in my day was called a ghost cart. We used to produce shitloads of that, but it's just one of them, isn't it? They obviously don't. Some things catch on and some things don't. And obviously, the public interest in certain varieties and some varieties almost disappear.
Right. This is an example of what. Excuse me, guys. I'm starving, so I'm going to eat it. Gosh. This is the example of what Matt's talking about. And how I really do agree with what Vince said, because at the end of the day, they do. I mean, like that one there.
Quickly, that one there.
Yeah, but the point is the structure and the Matsuba one. They're all good fish, aren't they?
Oh yeah, 100%, mate. Yeah, you can't knock
really
them
nice fish.
Well, as a hobbyist, if you saw that bowl, what would they be looking to buy? All the fish are good structure.
Yeah, but that comes down to personal choice as well as what your knowledge of the line might be. Obviously, some are safer bets than others, aren't they?
Are
Who
they?
knows? Yeah. Well, you got the more solid.
Everything there's got a real nice, good body profile, and the rest of it, I think, really is down to preference to what you want. But I thought the Kanoko was supposed to develop in time, but I mean that one there, that literally looks just like an Asagi. I can't see it developing any form of Kanoko over it, but
it will, because it comes up, doesn't it?
Yeah, that's what I mean.
It comes up the fish as they develop. But
I don't know enough about them, Rick, to say one way.
no one does. That's the point. They're still only in such an early stage that you've got fish that go from a Matsuba through to an Asagi and everything in between. A lot of those, a little bit of the pattern will probably increase on most of them. You just have to go with what you like, didn't you? I mean, to be fair, the Asagi looking one's stonking fish, isn't it?
Yeah.
Regardless of what it does, I mean, the quality of it there is lovely.
This one, I mean, they are nice. That one's nice. That one there, middle there. Oh, no.
Nice. Quite appreciation at an early stage.
Yeah. But there are so many different variations to them that it'd be difficult. I mean,
there is, like you say, there isn't an end product you're looking for. So how do you can't pick and choose between them, which is better than another one, because you don't really know what your end product. You're going to all change.
Because we got spoiled with that absolute worldy one that was on the front cover of a magazine, and everybody thinks that's what a golden con should look like. And when they don't resemble that, everybody thinks, well, that's not a golden con. Do you know what I mean?
The thing is, not many of them are going to. How many Kahaku look like top end show winning fish at 5 years old? Not many. No. They're still red and white fish to some degree, but there was one at the National that looked absolutely amazing, a really nice example, but actually got nothing, and it doesn't fit in the sort of judging.
But surely,
it was stunning.
If a breeder breeds a particular fish and he gets his desired finished product, which obviously is one we're talking about, and he calls it the golden corn, surely then that should then be, that is what a textbook golden corn should be.
Well, no, but that was a really good example of body structure, skin quality, and everything else. But what happens when one's got a pattern more like an Asagi with Ganoko rising up, but it's not a solid colour? Still looks as good. that was an exceptional fish. If a Commonwealth goes to a show and wins best in, its class, but it's very heavy and it's sumi and whatever, the next one might come along, be equally as good, but have a totally different pattern that's almost non-existent. But you can't. They all come different. Each fish to get to that level, you're almost talking about a pattern with that, and it's not. That fish, the body structure, the size, the skin quality, all those things made that fish, not just the colour of it.
That's what I thought too, Vince. Which it was.
It was the first, the last, and we've got plenty of them. Everyone needs at least 10 asagi in their pond. 10 minimum.
Got to admit, mate. Got to admit that ball that you put out on your Facebook group, man. They were beautiful. Them. There were some good ones in there. Where did you buy them off?
Nice. Ryan.
There was really good, mate. Do you need a bib, Jazz? Yeah, I dropped it all over me. Right. Go on, Matt. What's your topic for the evening?
Oh, talk about putting me on the spot.
Well, if you haven't got one.
You should have one. No.
I've got one, but I think I know Rick will agree with me. Red one. Yeah, that one.
Here's a red one.
But I don't know what you think about it, Matt, because obviously you get involved in pond building and whatever. When it comes to building a pond, why is it that so many ponds are built with the capabilities of withstanding a nuclear attack? By which I mean, is it really necessary or always necessary? Now, obviously, there's going to be, when you get to a certain point and a certain size, some form of alterations might have to be made. But a 5,000 litre pond or a 20,000 litre pond, is it necessary to build the pond in the blocks 4-inch ways high, or do they have to be laid, in your opinion, laid flat this way?
I've seen ones stood up right sides, and they've been stood up for years and years and years, and haven't had any issues.
The reason why I say it is because it's a lot more expensive and you need a lot more block to lay them the opposite way. And especially when you're not carrying that much volume of water. And as some people build them, a lot of them build them and they might be 2 or 3, maybe 4 courses below ground before they come up and out. When all the pressure to your build or to your pond when you build one is at the lower quarter, and the more the water comes up, the less pressure that there is pushing on that outer walls. Why is it that people think it's necessary and these buildings won't, these block works or these brickworks won't withstand or won't hold that volume of water? Because I know somebody here that's got blockwork that's literally stood on top of each other without even any sand and cement between them, and that still holds back and holds in place and holds water.
It's the same with the high pressure pipe underneath for the bottom drain.
I'm glad you went there too, because that was going to be the next one.
Yeah,
but yeah,
the problem is with it.
If you're going to build one pond, you don't want it to fail, do you? Be it the drains, be it the.
I appreciate that. I get that. I could agree with you on that one as well. If you want to do it, you want to do it right and do it once.
And Rick, you had some of the normal solvent well pipe go, didn't you? Remember it had to split just outside.
It must have been split before it even went in, and that was just one of those things. It must have been either crushed or dropped the full length.
I personally think that particular pipe work was damaged prior to going in.
It wasn't. Yeah, and then that was luckily it was on the outside. The split was on far enough outside the concrete base that I could get at it, cut it, and deal with it. But had that been an extra foot under the concrete, I would have been
Screwed.
royally screwed.
You'd have been,
That was perhaps
you'd
my
been
fault for
taking a
not
lot of work down, wouldn't you?
Just because I've never had a problem with a length of pipe work, I should perhaps check it. It only takes, a forklift to have crushed it, or it was only a section in the middle of the pipe.
It could even just be strapped up onto a wagon. When it's been strapped up, could have been enough to fracture it.
Yeah, just too tight to crack one or whatever. Yeah, and that just because I've never seen it before, it never even crossed my mind that it would be an issue. But yeah, I think if you're building one pond, you want to go belt and braces to the point. But yeah, some people do go mental with 10 inches of concrete with reinforced steel work and
some people put more into it than what goes into your average swimming pool, which is fucking ludicrous. To not meaning anybody buying it, but some of the pond builds that you see out there, you think, shit, goddamn, you could literally use that as a bunker.
You see the odd one that turns into a disaster where a wall gives way or cracks open, or.
But most of the time, when you see ones like that have given way, is because they've not got a half bond. And many a time you see that most people have only got, 2 or 3 inches of a bond. Instead, a breeze block should be laid, and then your next one laid, and then your next one over the top, bonding the two. And a lot of people mistakenly get thrown out on a line as they're going around doing it. And instead of just cutting a block in half and going back at it again to readdress the situation, continue till they get to a corner and then give it a weak point. But I mean, I'm no builder. I'm not making out like I am or I could do anything better than anybody else who's building out there. But I do think sometimes on some of the smaller ponds that you see, people could save a little bit of money. For example, the reason why it was brought up, we're doing a new pond build, and it is only 300 gallon, if that. And people straight went to the hope it's not water going in there, not with the blocks laid that way, but yet it's 300 gallon, man. You could knock that up out of 18 mil ply and it would hold it. We've seen it, yeah.
We had one on. One came on, didn't she?
Yeah. When she came on, she made a whole pond out of nothing but 2x3 CLS scants and 12 or 18 mil plywood.
Yeah.
And that held back. That was quite a lot of gallonage in that pond. It was holding it all perfectly fine. And it wasn't a first build, was it? That was a second build that she'd done. Same method used last time, the build prior to it, which, all right, there might be the fact that in time you might end up with problems with it rotting back and having issues, and you might have to do something. But there's many a timber framed pond out there that does perfectly adequate job, and not belt and braces and not all these. I mean, I'm not saying you shouldn't build them flat layout block, but it's not needed. It's not always needed to a certain degree anyway. Like you've got, Rick, the Munga pond back when we were down there, not last year before. The Munga pond that you had down there, your first one in Old Polyton. I look back on the video because I was thinking, why are they saying that? Because I'm sure that block work at Rick's on that thing were all laid that way, not that way. And I look back at video and it was.
Pillars, isn't it?
Oh, yeah, but the
original wall, that collapse, that original pond, the builder come in and did it for me. And I was like, you sure that'd be all right? Yeah, that'd be all right. And before I'd even half filled the pond, the whole wall toppled over, took the steel work out. And the guy that did it had to come back and redo it and put more. I said there's not enough pillars. And he went, yeah, you won't need pillars. It's only a metre deep. And about 60 centimetres. A 40-foot length of wall just went.
But were you stood straight onto the foundation of that, or were you below ground as well?
That was onto a concrete base, straight up. But he didn't put enough pillars in it. But that's you don't really want you run that risk or whatever, do you? So, but then in the day, you've got to look at. Christ, you can buy a swimming pool a metre deep that's just got a few steel bars around it, and it's held up by the shape of the plastic liner, isn't it?
But it'd be interesting to go to a structural engineer and ask them to actually calculate it up to what the thickness of the wall should be. And I bet you any money that they come back with figures that would be just like absolutely scary and ridiculous.
Oh yeah, without a doubt, mate. I think if you were to have it worked out professionally and what they. But I think that would be more the case, though, Matt, because they wouldn't want any liability coming back on them.
Yeah.
More than anything, so it'd be overkill more than it really needed to be.
I think
that original Munger tunnel, if you remember, what I did was from the base of the tunnel, laid blocks in an arc up against the wall. So the wall was a single skin with pillars, but on every strut of the tunnel, there was blocks laid in an arc up to the wall. So that basically means it cannot come over, because obviously the weight of the water's pushing, and it just comes round the arc to the base of the tunnel. That was just something I did.
Braced in it just in case.
Well, that's just something I did for the sake of 6 blocks or whatever for every arch. It physically couldn't move, but that was 40 foot long. That it was a long run.
Yeah, that was a big long run because we've got them. I mean, obviously, Andy's done all the building down there, and he's built blocks, and there's a 100-meter run. He's got a 100-meter run of block, four blocks high, and it's all laid that way. And it's been there for 20 years. It's never shifted or moved or done anything.
Again, it's the type of blocks you use make a difference as well.
Yeah, because there is some ultra lightweight blocks and stuff like that in it. There are far softer. I mean, there's some blocks nowadays you can cut with an handsaw. You can literally run an handsaw through them.
We've got blocks at work that have dissolved. Right? We've got concrete blocks that have literally gone. Nothing left of them.
Do you know the hollow ones? Are all those full? Have you put like a wet mix into them?
No. Like Lego. Occasionally we might put a steel or something in there. But you can just move them. For what we do, it's perfect. You build a pond, 2 years later you go, that actually don't work very well. It's like Lego, isn't it? You just change the shape.
Right, again.
Make it longer.
Go on, we've got a quick question in there somebody has asked as well. Simon Kennedy says, how much would I be expected to pay for 1,000 fry? As you deal in them, Rick, what would you charge for 1,000 fry? $1 billion.
At 2 weeks old, I think there's 70 quid.
70 quid for 1,000?
At 2 weeks old, yeah, I think so.
Shit.
180 quid for 6 week old ones.
There you go, mate. Simon, contact them when they've got some more fry on next year. You can have 1,000 of them for 70, 80 quid.
But if I'd saying about fry, buy them early in the season if you can, because you've got a longer season, natural heat to grow them. And don't expect miracles. The number of fish we go through of an average spawning, you might have 1% of a decent level. So if you buy 1,000 fry and you keep all of them brilliantly, you're only going to have 10 good fish. Weigh up what it's going to cost to grow 1,000 fry or buy 10 decent fish.
It's mad, isn't it? When you actually say that like that, it's just scary amounts.
When you said when you went to the first thing when we were talking about block work, and you went straight to the other one, which was pipe work. I've been talking to a client, Richard, and he was saying to me that there is absolutely no need to use all this type of pipe work. All right, some of it. Our house is 30-plus-year-old now, maybe pushing closer to 38-year-old or something like that. But some of that pipe work that we've got on the front of the house is now getting to a point where you can see it's the UV stability of it is starting to degrade, and it's ready for replacement. But that's 30, let's say between 35 and 40 years. That's been out there in the elements constantly, all the time, year in, year out. A lot of this pipe work is hidden beneath ground and the rest of it. There's no real need to be going to the lengths of high pressure pipe when we don't even have the capabilities of pushing high pressure with the pumps that we've got. Not one single pump that's out there in the normal market range of a 10,000, 20,000, 30,000, 40,000 litres can push anywhere near the pressures that's required for high pressure pipe. But yet people do it, and they do it again. And there is other reasons why they do it. They do it. The grey pipe looks better, and I would agree. It looks more aesthetically pleasing. It's stronger. It's more durable. Should anything trundle over it or stamp on it or tread it, all those kind of things. But it does those extra miles that people put into a build all comes at an extra cost, doesn't it? It's a lot more expensive to use all those kind of things and those products and all those different, It was just
that's always been the case. So someone that's capable as a builder could build themselves a 1,000-gallon pond with filtration, a few £100, literally. But you could also get someone come in and do it to top spec and charge 25 grand.
Yeah.
We've got customers that have spent the same as you pay for a bloody house on their ponds. And yeah, it's amazing, isn't it? But if you've got that sort of money to spend 90 grand doing your pond, fair play. But yeah, you don't need to. You can buy a car for £1,000 that gets you from A to B, or you can spend 100 grand on a car gets you from A to B.
It is a depending on the depth of your pocket, so to speak, your pocket wallet. Depending on the depth of your pocket, I suppose depends on what you would always spend. Anything, and this is like we were saying the other week with Colin, isn't it? When we were having a bit of a laugh and a joke, and then having a look at the fish and the different stuff and what have you, and then thinking, well, yeah, you spent that money on that, you put this into that, you put that into that, you produce this fish that looks like that. It's the same thing, in it. The whole industry of koi keeping, the hobby, is so many different variations of levels of expense to it that there's a market for everyone, and there's a lot of people that get outmarketed by the higher, more expensive stuff that are out there that you couldn't afford to do. Like, for example, 25 grand on a filtration system on top of your 30 grand pond build. On top of that, a 5 grand heating system to and then you might be going out and buying yourself your grown fish that might be £1,000-2,000 a chuck, but they might still only be small torso that you buy an high spec for. If you've got that type of money, why the hell not do it and spend it on what you want? Totally agree with it. Go for it. Do what you can. But it's the people that do this on the keyboards going, you can't do that. You should be doing this. When it's not the fact. It's not the case. You can, as Vince always said, and many other people on YouTube, you can keep koi on a budget. You've said it yourself. If you wanted to do, you could probably do it all for about 500 quid all in, and that's including your pond pump and stock to put in it. Easy. You could have a small temporary pool out there and get to know whether or not you like the hobby, get to know whether or not it's something that's going to grip you, and then you can build upon that. Better fish, better stock, better pond, do it all and do a proper build. But there's a lot of people that just go straight in balls deep and seem to spend absolutely silly cash.
I think one that I have loads and loads of times is people with the windows. So I was just doing it then. A 1.6 meter wide window, 60 centimeters deep, would cost you £261. If you went a centimetre deeper, so to the 61 centimetres or above, that price shoots up to £458.
What? For a centimetre more glass in depth?
Yeah, because you go up to 3 panes and it goes 33 mil.
Right. So beyond that 2 pane with the laminate, if you go up beyond a certain size, it then turns to a triple pane requirement.
Yeah.
And that's obviously because they've tested it through, and likelihood is
it's heat soaking.
Yeah.
But it's massive. Like
that's a massive jump, though, isn't it?
Yeah, it's huge.
It's another pin, though, another whole pin for the same size, isn't it? So
yeah, it's almost twice as much.
It sounds like a big jump, but it's not really, is it? When you think it's a whole another layer plus a laminate as well to do. Yeah, you can see why. But shit, it's a big jump for an extra CM.
If that's what you need, if you want a 65 centimeters of glass, then that's what you got.
Yeah, that's what you got. That's what you're going to pay.
You need for 3 layers, whatever, for the structural integrity. Just
But a
don't
bit,
drill in the corner.
I have this with them all the time. Well, I used to, giving up asking the question now. So if you've got a pond that's, say, 6 meters by 6 meters, and you want to put in a window that's 60 centimeters steep, how can that be exactly the same as a pond that is 2 meters by 1.5? The same pressure.
Cheers, Jigs.
It was to do with depth, isn't it?
Yeah, but
Doesn't
you
matter
still,
how big the lake is. You put in a lake the size of half the planet. It's to do with the depth, isn't it?
yeah,
The
but
pressure's the same. So every centimetre you go up.
the pressure's still going to be more with a bigger volume of water.
No. The pressure
Well, so
would be
it's-
exactly the same. At 60 centimetres, you could put it on the sea and it would be the same pressure as in a pond, wouldn't it? 60 centimetres, you go to 61 centimetres, and every centimetre you go deeper, the pressure increases. Purely about depth, not about volume. Unless you're going to put the window down on the wall.
Pressure per square inch. So the bigger amount of water, but you've got a bigger area of inches. So yeah, I guess it is.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's so purely. Yeah, they're saying at 60 centimetres depth, you can get away with 2 panes of glass, but you go above that, you have to go up to 3
You gotta
layers.
go up that one extra.
How big your pond is purely about depth.
Yeah. Hence
That's
the
why we
reason
get away
why
with
the
having
statement
shallow
is
ponds that are massive and
it's
blocks
the,
it just
pressure pushes down, doesn't it? Down and out.
Yeah.
What about this one then?
Go on.
Oh, sorry. Go on, carry on. Go on.
No, I had a big argument with one of my lecturers at college about pumps and the heads they're pushing, and his argument was you've got a pump at the bottom of a 4 meter deep pond, and the filter's a meter up. The pump's got to push 5 meters head, and I was like, well, no, it doesn't. It's got to push 1 meter head to the top of the filter. From the top, whatever's underwater, there's no head. And he's like, no, of course there's head, there's pressure and whatever. And I said, no, but that pressure pushes down. So the pressure is from the surface of the water to the filter, not from where the pump is. And we went round and round arguing, me being a young dickhead and him being a seasoned lecturer. But I think the upshot was I was right, but I couldn't prove I was right. But yeah, it doesn't matter how far down the water where the pump is. If it's just under the surface or 10 meters down, it's the head has got to push it from the surface to wherever it's going. Okay, you get pipe friction loss in the way, but in reality, yeah. So we had a long debate about that. But yeah, so people think that you put your pump down there and it's pushing 6 meters up to the filter, but if 4 meters of that is in the pond, it's only pushing 2 meters up to the filter.
Yeah.
So would it be the same? What you're saying then, if the pipe went down from the pond 1 mile into ground and you had a pump at the bottom of that, it would work exactly the same as if it was on the surface of the soil?
Yeah, basically, yeah, because the water pressure is already pushing that water back to the surface. It's only pushing above the surface. You will get frictional loss in pipe work, which is nominal, but a mile is probably quite a lot. So, but yeah, it's just
a bit.
It's a can of worms. I don't deal with this stuff, do I?
No, but it makes sense though. Right, as somebody who is looking to come into koi keeping, don't do it. Looks like you're a pigeon fancy.
Of course you do it.
So stick with the pigeons. Get to Mazzarelli's Llewellyn Lofts and buy yourself some lovely birds from him. Someone who's looking to come into koi keeping, I have a question for you. Experienced keepers, do you think when you're bringing in fish from Japan, you're getting their best?
No, Jesus
No.
Christ.
No.
You're getting you're getting the best in the world, potentially, if you want to shell out the money for it. They're farms, they're businesses. They are selling what they can to whoever will buy it. They have a stricter code of quality control than pretty much anywhere else in the world. But in reality, yeah, you can still buy fish from Japan for a couple of quid that are no better than anywhere else. If you want the best stuff, then you need to be really going to Japan to buy it, don't you? If you're just coming into koi keeping, I suggest you get a cheap put up pond and have a go at it for a year and see if you actually enjoy cleaning filters, feeding fish, and dealing with livestock. And if you enjoy it, go for it.
Well, if you're coming into koi keeping, mate, go for it anyway, regardless. Even if you don't enjoy it. There's so many.
If you don't enjoy it.
No, there's so many. I haven't finished. Even if you don't enjoy it, there's so many avenues now where you can sell your products, get rid of your stuff. The most difficult one being moving on your stock. That's the hardest bit to do. But if it's a learning curve and an experience or relaxing hobby that you want, try somewhere else. Because
it's one of those things, isn't it? You've got to, I think, rather than going crazy and spending 20 grand doing a koi pond, and get the knowledge first. Do a simple pond, be it even a semi-rigid paddling swimming pool.
Exactly what
simple filtration system. Exactly, yeah. Spend £1,000, do it for a year, and see if you actually enjoy looking after the fish. Because if you don't enjoy looking at them and looking after them, it's probably not really a hobby for you. But no, you're not going to go and just get the best fish from Japan because you're buying them from Japan. That's not going to happen.
Hopefully that answered your questions, mate. Normally what I do ask people do is to type them out in capital letters so they stand out a little bit more, but I did spot it and I didn't want to miss it. So there you go, mate. That's, I would say, a definite. I'd say a definite no. We're not getting their best, are we? We're not getting the best stuff. Nobody lets go the best of them. And not when you're in the line of breeding. If they'd got a fish and they produced a fish and it were better than what they were using, you'd like to think that they'd keep the very best of what they've got. Perhaps maybe further better that.
That goes all the way. That goes all the way down through the line, doesn't it? Yeah. So from the Japan farm to the importer to the dealer, each one of those are going to be holding back potentially the best of the best to grow on in size.
Well, you've got to do it because that's
one of the questions. I always laugh at this one I get asked loads and loads and loads. You've got a really nice tancho, 45 cm, and he is spot on. Real good quality. And you get somebody say, "Have you got one of those? About 50 quid." Obviously, it's going to be a lot smaller. And it's like, no, because if they were, the farm's not going to release it because it's got no monetary value at that stage. They're going to grow it on. If they don't think it's going to get to that full potential, then they're going to let it go. But it's going to go all the way down through the chain.
That's one of my favourite questions. Have you got any of those yellow monkeys around 25 quid? Or whatever type.
I've got loads of them.
Shit, absolute loads of them. Coming out my ear holes. But there's a lot of people that want a perfect koi in the perfect category of whatever it might be at rock bottom prices. And unfortunately, you can get examples of those koi that aren't perfect. They're nice. And they're a nice sort of sample of that particular, but they're not the best because you're just not going to get the best without paying the biggest price. Unfortunately, it's
why is one koi worth 1.5 million quid or whatever? Because it's the best, and that is unique. It is the best, isn't it?
Yeah,
you're not going to get. And to be fair, every farm in Japan will have dealers. They will have customers. They will, if they don't keep the best fish for themselves because they've got enough, they will have certain people that they will sell those fish to. And most of them might not be English hobbyists. They will more likely be Japanese hobbyists or Asian people with the right sort of money where the fish can either stay on the farm and they keep control of them. Because your best stock, you don't want to let go, do you?
So Rick, you mentioned it then. So that fish that was 1.5 million went into a farm and it was spawned, or it spawned. How many eggs would it have, and how many potential of the same quality as its parents, would there be?
It depends on the male or whatever, but in reality, that fish probably would drop 250,000 eggs. But in reality, you might only have one offspring that will be that replica of that fish. So you've got to keep them all, and it doesn't really work because you can't. It's
Can't do that.
Well, if you look at
they will use so S Legend or whatever. I think never left the farm, and champion fish have been bred from, and obviously you get a premium for the offspring because it's come from the best fish in the world, one of the best fish in the world. How many of those fish go on to win all? I don't know. Do they?
If you look at the fish, S Legend produced John Legend, both Tancho, Carcass. A fish was spawned with 500,000 from 500,000, a spawning of 500,000. That 500,000 was taken down to first selection to 2,000. From 2,000 down to 500, down to 200 going out to a mud pond, and then from the 200 down to 1, which was John Legend. That's something he says himself in his own video. So from a 500,000, and he produced one banger from that particular fish, from that particular spawning.
That's the problem. So you don't necessarily get the best. So that fish might have been the best fish in the world at the time, but its sister or a sibling of it might have been a much better parent fish for another reason than that fish. That fish, the best potential, the best quality for that, but actually might have been a sibling of that becomes a mainstay parent for the farm because of the offspring that fish produces in terms of consistency of pattern, quality or body quality. It's just one of those, isn't it? But that's how the lines get progressed.
So should there be so much emphasis then on a bloodline? When you got a
100% on a bloodline, because at the end of the day, that's a consistency marker for quality, isn't it? If you're buying fish from a farm from a bloodline, you're not guaranteeing, but you're making sure that fish is going to have the bone structure, the growth capabilities, the penny quality, the whatever, to do what you're paying that money for it to do. If you're buying from a complete random spawning, might be a great example, but actually
it might just be a one-off quote from a great example.
It's that consistency you'll pay for. So if Yellow Monkey's perfect example, you're buying something with a structure that's going to look got the bone structure and the capabilities to be a good quality koi at 70, 80 centimeters, whatever, and look nice. So you're paying extra, you're paying 10 times more for that name to give you what should be a guarantee that the offspring will look good, will be good. And consistently, the majority of those fish will be better than someone else's.
But at the same time, on an average hobbyist, then, if you had a bowl of 100 Jinmin Krashigoi.
What? Hang about, Rick.
50 of them were cheeky monkeys.
50 what, though?
50 of them are cheeky. 50 of them are cheeky monkeys.
No, let's start. Let's go back again. 50 something Karashigoi. What?
Jinmin Krashigoi.
Oh, Jinmin. So they're alcoholic drinks, aren't you?
They're gin, mate. So you say it around our parts. You want a gin,
so you
gin
had,
and vodka.
Gin and tonic. Rin Karashigoi.
So you had 50 yellow monkeys and 50 cheeky monkeys. All of them are 25, 30 cm. How many hobbyists are likely to be able to pick out the cheeky monkeys, yellow monkeys?
General hobbyists, probably none. But people that know what they're looking at will probably be able to pick the bone structure out of the yellow monkeys against the cheeky monkeys. And if they were grown in an environment to 80 cm, the Dainichi fish have got a bigger, better bone structure. That's what you're paying for. So at the end of the day, in most people's ponds, that will never come to fruition because the environment won't encourage that. So those fish will all grow to 60, 70 centimeters and there won't be a great deal of difference. But the people that have got a heated pond and using the good food and all the rest of it, the yellow monkeys will become monsters compared to our fish. There's a difference in you're paying for the Dainichi name and whatever, but you're also paying for that potential that ours haven't got in that final. If ours get to 60 easy enough, 70 maybe, the Dainichi ones might be 80, 90 and be built like tanks.
But that's down to the specialist hobbyist, somebody that's got a heated pond, giving them the food, and in reality,
but that also that name and stuff, you can't. People want, oh, look at my fish, I've got a Dainichi fish and whatever, and that's what drives that price up, because the demand for those fish. They've won the All Japan show 10 times or whatever with their fish. They are one of the best farms on the planet.
Yeah.
So that name and everything gives it that. But in reality, yeah, you could have one of my fish and a Dainichi yellow in the same pond, in an unheated normal koi pond, and after 5 years, no one will tell the difference.
No difference.
That's different in an English fish, or even a fish from. Plus, you could go to loads of farms in Japan. You go to Marihiro and buy, Nisai Krashigoi for quarter of the price, 10th of the price what you pay for Dainichi fish. That's
what about
isn't it? A Ferrari or a Lamborghini is going to cost more than a Ford Fiesta.
Yeah, it is.
They might use the same wing mirrors or indicators or whatever. But that's the world we live in, isn't it? That's just, I can't change that. If I buy a bottle of champagne that's come from Champagne region of France, or a bottle of fizzy wine from Italy, the Italian one's quarter the price, isn't it? If you buy
you don't drink champagne anyway. You drink Lamborghini.
Exactly, that tastes better.
It does. I used to drink
a bottle of IPA or something like that.
But that's the same. It's kind of the same thing, isn't it?
It is, mate. It is. And it's the same thing throughout all walks of life, isn't it? That literal difference is all about what you pay. Depends on what you get. Quality is quality, and the better.
At the end of the day, if I wanted to grow an amazing in-ring Krashigoi up to a massive size, and I'm putting heat into my pond and good food into my pond, I'm only going to go to a couple of farms. Dainichi being one of them, Konichi being another one, that you're going to go to those farms to buy that fish to do that, because you can see they've got the track record. If you buy a decent fish, it's going to do it. You're not going to come and buy one for 20 quid off us and go, well, it might not, because there's no track record there, really, is there?
What about this one then, for a tongue-in-cheek one? So, who, in your opinion, in the UK, gets the best koi from Japan?
Good call.
Go on, Matt. I'll let you answer first.
I'm going to fucking hate having to say the little man. But, yeah, the
little man. Who's the little man? The dwarf,
man.
Dwarf up north?
Yeah, I can't say his name properly. It's got to be the little man. Everybody knows him as the little man. He'll probably come on now and fucking kill me. But
I think that's I'd have to say a question like that, there is no answer to it, because if you talk to someone, so Yume Koi probably used to bring in the highest quality koi into the country. Obviously, he's out in Japan now doing his stuff. So Gray's Koi and whatever doing his thing, but that's all good. That's all right if you want a Kahaku. But what happens when you want a Komonryu or you want a different variety? It's not as easy as saying who brings the best koi from Japan. And it's not about how much you spend out in Japan either. It's the relationships you've got. So Ricky might have the best relationship with Fujiyama and be bringing in the best fish he's got. And Gray's Koi might be bringing in the best fish from Yume Koi's dealing with the southern breeders, or Koi Waterbarn are bringing in, without doubt, the best Sakai fish farm fish into the country. Ryan might be bringing in the best all-round small fish.
Oh, there's your answer, ladies and gents. Sorry.
That's the thing, isn't it? What's the best koi from Japan?
Yeah. I suppose everybody's got their own their own category. But if you want some really nice fish, there is this company called it's supposed to kind of bring some really good stuff in from Japan.
Some people say the best koi from Japan are the cheapest from Japan, and you'd be free water fish. Some people say, well, it's got to be the best individuals from the best farm. So you've got to be going to Koi Water Barn or Ryan or Gray's Koi or Absolute Koi, whatever. There is no such thing. I think each dealer, again, has their own idea of what they want to bring in, be it varieties, be it sizes, ages, qualities, price points.
And another thing as well, though, Rick, it's also whether or not, let's say, for example, us at Exclusively Koi, Ryan's literally, if he's not there already, I don't know, but depends on his landing time or his flight, is literally out there going over there to do that right now, to bring back koi to the UK for us as a company. Now, if he's out there and somebody's gone to the said dealer that he was going, breeder that he was going to beforehand, and cleaned up, you know, necessarily, I think it's first feet on the ground, first feet in the door. You're picking first if you know what you're looking for.
But they're not available. It doesn't work like that, does it? Because the fish aren't available.
Yeah, exactly. So I mean, sometimes you go there and they haven't done the harvest, so you go back the next day and it brought them in the afternoon. And
it's the same perspective for the dealer, isn't it? Because if you ask the same question to the dealer, well, it all depends when the dealer was there. Like, because of course myself and Rick were there, and the week prior Crafty had been there, but there was places that Crafty was able to get into that we weren't able to, and vice versa, places that we went and bought from that Crafty wouldn't. So it is down to timings.
But I think at the end of the day, there's a lot of good dealers, and we're blessed in this country. If you want to keep koi, there's a shitload of dealers.
There is,
selling koi all across the country. And because of that competition, because there's a lot of dealers, everyone actually has to pull their pants up and do a decent job, don't they? So, so you can go to Perfect Aquatics and buy high quality fish. You can go to Matt's. You can go to Exclusively. You can go. There's so many good dealers that actually the customer is the winner because everyone's competing against each other. You go to the show.
The customer's got the choice and the variety of the areas where he can go. There's that many different places you can pick and choose whoever you want, isn't there?
You go to other countries and you've got the choice of 2 dealerships.
Yeah, like Susan said in the past, it's very difficult for her over there because there's not that many dealers close to where she is because of the vast size of the country.
We had some French people come here a few weeks ago, and they said in France there's only 3 dealers selling fish, reputable, known sort of proper dealers.
So that's a country that's 10 times the size of the UK.
Three dealers. Yeah,
mad, isn't it?
Yeah.
Say that though, there isn't a dealers. Well, there isn't a dealers anymore in Huddersfield. There was years ago for a long, long time, but there isn't anymore now. There's one place.
There's quite a lot around within 50 miles of you. But
yeah. I've got no. It's easy for me to be able to get to anywhere within a 20-minute, 30-minute, an hour and a half, whatever type of journey to go pick my choice of whatever I want from wherever I wanted. Yeah.
But that pushes the level on, doesn't it? If you can travel in a 50-mile radius and see 10 dealers and you go, well, they're good, they're shit. And it gets back, that dealer's like, oh, I've got to sort this out because I'm overpriced and my fish is shit. I need to sort, you don't stay a dealer long. There's just so much competition in this country. If you're not good at what you do, then you ain't doing it for very long, are you?
But at the same time, you think about our area down here, Rick. I know are you 50 miles away? You've got to be close.
Oh, Christ, that takes ages.
I know.
Got to be 50, yeah.
It's got to be close to it. But when you put a 50-mile circumference around Dorchester,
there's only 2 houses in 50 miles of your
area. Yeah, I know. That's what I mean. So if you go 50 miles from us and you think of the population of that area compared to Huddersfield, it's a huge difference, isn't it?
Yeah, but that's how it's. But the north, London and the north have always been strong koi keeping because you got the chimney pots, you got that's just the area in it.
and they're not very
Who knows?
Good evening.
Oh, here he is. Right,
King
Clark,
Kabuto. Sorry, I've just been rolling down through. What about the King Kabuto?
Talking of inbreeding is crafty.
You what was that?
There's another
Hang
one.
on a minute, I can't fucking hear you.
That's all right. We can hear you.
What was that?
Who would you say, in your opinion, gets the best koi from Japan? Go on, do it. Go on, fucking drop a punch in, get it there. Go on, do it, mate. Say it.
What? As in breeding dealers, you mean?
Yeah, you were supposed to go perfect acquiring, but you didn't.
Well, I didn't know what you meant, mate. Whether you meant dealers, breeders.
The question was, so who, in your opinion, in the UK gets the best koi from Japan?
I think it changes year on year. Is the best answer.
Would you say
And the
that
most
I was
transparent.
right with that kind of statement, Crafty, is depending when your feet are on ground and whether or not you're there first fruit door to get some of the best stock that's available at the time when you're visiting, or
Yeah, to an extent. So I'll give you an example, right? So this year versus last year, my last year's stock was by far a lot better than this year's stock, merely down to the fact that the week that I went to Japan this year, there was a lot of uncontrolled access issues. In other words, what I'm saying is there was a lot of there was a lot of breeders out there that had shut doors for personal issues. So the ability for me to get what I wanted really reduced because that stock wasn't available. Okay, so that really limited. But the year before, everything
you had
was
access
available.
to it. Yeah. So I suppose it could also, depending on circumstances whilst you're over there, as well as not just.
Absolutely. Yeah, but there's a lot of contributing factors, Gaz, isn't there? So,
Oh, yeah, there is. Like,
you know,
let's say, for example, with Odakan, he was in hospital, wasn't he?
that is one. Your eye changes year on year. It gets better and better and better.
Mine doesn't. I'm getting blind, mate.
I was just pointing to Matt then, but I looked and realised.
Yeah, it's always the other way, isn't it?
Yeah.
So your eye changes. Breeders, what are available to dealers for the right dollar changes. You know, your budget changes. You know, there's a huge amount. Who do I think brought the best koi in this year? I personally think Coastal Koi had some of the best fish in the country this year.
Yeah.
A lot of that could come down to they've got a relationship with one or two farms in Japan they've had for years, and those farms have done really well, and they support each other. You've been coming for years. Here's my best fish.
And that's the other thing, isn't it? Whatever's available. As a first-time buyer in Japan, you're not getting access to shit, are you?
You see, Susan's putting there. There's only one dealer within 500-mile radius to where she lives. One in 500-mile radius.
You can drive anywhere in this country 500 miles without falling off it.
Good evening, by the way.
I did say good evening. You ignored me.
Yeah, no. I was just saying it because I went straight into a question. I heard you say good evening, so it's cool.
All right then. As he's wearing a Donichi top.
You know, I will go out there. Who has marketed their koi best this year? Ryan Stoddart.
Ricky's done quite a good job as well.
I don't watch Ricky.
Simon, Gaz, Matt, and Rick are not responding to the chat. That's why Twisted Koi's in here. He would answer our questions. Mate, I've answered and asked every one of your questions.
I'm not in the chat. I can't do the chat and talk.
There's only I that control the chat. Therefore, I go through these and answer the questions and we talk about the topics. But sometimes it's go over a little bit to the point where we divulge somewhat and come back to it. But that's what makes it interesting if we do it every week and we cover these aspects and these questions. Month out. So, oh, that's all right, Simon. I am trying to keep them. I am trying to get your questions answered.
Today?
There we go. Right. So my question to the panel: who in the UK is the best to buy koi from that are close to the Japan
Rick.
I think
Are you mean in the sense of good quality fish that are British bred fish that are the best quality second to fish from Japan?
the best thing to do is to travel to us, to Adam Buyer, Cuttlebrook, and look at them. Look for yourself. Look at the fish and look at the price point. Chat with us. We all do the same thing, basically. We pick the best we can for Japan. We stand on the shoulders of giants, and we take their stuff and we breed it and supply it.
There you
Travel. Look everywhere.
That's really time. This is what we got some who's singing in background.
It's crafty.
I'm fucking telling you, mate.
Yeah.
Grab that remote and mute it. I'm trying to get the reason why we do this chat and live week in, week out is to be able to put a face to the hobby and to the dealers. This is why we've got me now, because I've started working in it, Crafty from Perfect Aquatics, Rick from a British koi farm, and Matt as a koi dealer in Dorset, so that we can have a wide coverage of answers to all these types of questions, mate. So there's no need to apologise for being new here. If I didn't get your question, don't panic, I will do, but it's a question of make it a little bit more noticeable. Put in capital letters so it stands out a little bit more, or stick a bunch of question marks before it and after, and it stands out then compared to the other 497 messages that have come before yours. There's a lot now, so I apologise if I miss one.
All I say to Simon is there's no such thing as the best koi. Each farm produces different stuff. They specialise in different stuff. Go to as many places as you can. Go to shows, go to dealers, go to everywhere you can, and look at what you like the look of. Look at the prices they are. Chat to the people. Look at the health of the fish, and you will soon start to have dealers that you prefer than others for one reason or another. Because you might like certain varieties that dealer does. You might like the farms they deal with. You might like the way they deal with you. It's not about, you can visit Cuttlebrook and find some amazing Sankey and Goshki. You might visit Adam Byron and find Benny Kamonru and Chagor. You might visit us and find Asar. We all do different stuff every year.
This is a good question. This will get some people's opinions going. So, question. Lee's question is, can you keep stunning koi in a cheap pond? Cheap as in no bottom drain, pump fed, no drums, or does the better the pond mean better fish?
Can I go first? I'm going first.
Yeah, go first.
Yes, you can keep quality koi in cheap built ponds if they're run well. A pump fed pond with the right care, the right stock level, the right knowledge is better than a pond with a bottom drain to a drum with an idiot looking after it that doesn't know what they're doing. Does that count?
That good answer.
That was a good answer.
That was a good one. I like that one. So yes, Lee, you can. I mean, I can emphasize that all our systems that we have are simple, simplistic, no bells and whistles. They do the job that they need to do, and the stock that we keep are exceptional. So yeah, you can. And
it's easier if you've got a pond with a bottom drain and a drum. It's easier to keep the water quality, to keep good koi good, but you also need heating. You also need the right food and the right knowledge. In reality,
so once every 6 years with somebody with a pond like mine, I might get a little bit of growth on my fish, like this year, and they'll be stunted again next.
Yeah, the water quality has got nothing to do with how the water's circulated around the pond. Really, the filtration, it's all to do with.
Triggered something in the grave, didn't you?
Well, and Helen Graham won't mind me saying, the Asagi that got first place at the National this year, theirs was just a basic pond up until this year.
There you go.
And they was out for 2 years, and he got first place, and it was cracking fish.
Beautiful Wasagi, that.
Yeah,
I know. Fed on a cheap food as well, wasn't
yeah.
it? There you go. Oh, here comes dinner, Crafty. What you got, son?
McDonald's.
No. What is it?
Ooh.
Look at that.
Whoa.
Bangers and mash.
Now, right, Crafty.
Bangers and mash.
That's fucking mint.
You could have wave. You could have
You
wave.
see, I do. It's mine. We did, mate. I tell you, I'd normally only have Mackies on a Thursday night.
No, not the Mackies. I'm on about that fish.
What is on about the plate of grub?
The plate of
Oh
food.
my
He's like,
God.
I love bangers and mash.
Yeah, I found my winner.
That's for later. That's for later, dude.
Mate, that's mint. Last one. Anyway, I've seen the winner. Thanks very much. That's
Oh,
koi
no.
appreciation over and done with. Wow. That's just doing it for me.
And I'll send you it. I'll send you this as well. So you need to show that the one I'm sending now first.
Oh,
You
right.
need
When
to.
it comes, yeah. When it comes to it, I need to do. That was nice.
You
That,
need
mate.
to.
Like that. So that goes back to pond. So that goes back to pond walls again. What's that bit, mate? I've missed that. Colin, what did I miss, mate? Yeah, I suppose.
Sadly, we're resigning from the Bank of
I've got another one, but I've got to trim the video down, Gaz.
Trim all videos, mate.
It's too long.
Short and sweet.
Simon Kennedy says, I know that, Andrew, but I'm asking who has the best Japan koi and what would we be expected to pay? Well, I mean,
Can I answer that, Gus?
yes, go on.
Right. The person that's got the best koi, or the dealer that's got the best koi in the north of the UK, all depends on how much you're willing to spend. I can give you someone that isn't a massive dealership that bring in some outstanding quality koi, or I could give you another dealer that can literally get you anything that you want.
Is he up north? Is that what we just decided?
Yeah,
We've
up
only
north.
been-
So money is the key.
Oh,
You know, but I'm not going to give either of them the advertising, because why do you need to be up north? We can post.
we just say we don't need strong walls, but glass. We need 3 layers over 2 meters. LOL.
I've got opinions on what you was discussing earlier.
Oh,
on the
go
pond
go
bills as
away. Go fire ahead,
Who's
mate.
Colin? He's on it.
well. Right, so
Colin,
you're quite right in stuff that you were saying with regards to the lay blocks this way, whatever way, right? Rick hit the nail on the head, right? Things that, it all depends on what your budget is. And if you're going to do it once, you do it right. So it all depends on, one, budget. Number two, for me, I spent over 20 grand on my pond build at home. It's not what a lot of people would call a koi pond per se, which is fine on them. But to me, I keep my koi in that pond. But what I've created is a piece in the garden that I can sit down at a table and still see my fish from anywhere within this room here, outside, etc. So, do you need to rebar? I don't think so, personally. All right. If you're using the concrete block, not the light bloody featherweight stuff, the heavy stuff, and you lay it this way, like I did, all right, water will not get through that. However, it all depends in the base of the pond. The base is the key, right? So if you are like 1.5 foot, 2 foot in ground on a 1.5 meter pond build, right? You was touching on it earlier with gravity pushing water. So what you have to look at is where the main force is on your pond build. So if the screen is the pond, gravity is pushing down here and then into the base of the pond. right? So if you're in ground and you've got this much in ground to where my hand is, the majority of the force of gravity in water is pushing into the corners and the base of the pond.
At the base of the pond.
However, right, if you're building this wall here off of the literally flat off of the surface, right, the structural integrity of laying this, right, against this is absolutely key. And again, it all depends on the size of the pond, so the weight of the water and the force that you're getting. However,
right, my question to you then, before you go any further, then, if that's the case, how can we put 5,000 litres in a pool with nothing more than plastic legs holding it together?
because that all works together. We're on about garden ponds, Gus.
No,
right?
no, but it's the same principle.
You know,
it still
so,
pushes to the same area,
yeah,
doesn't it?
yeah. If you,
The
you,
base
you
of the-
right, you look at certain swimming pools, right? The base it will come out like a balloon at the bottom, right?
Yeah.
And that's because gravity is pushing that water down into them areas. But that plastic is all reinforced and designed to hold the water, right? If we're not doing that, we're using bricks or wooden blocks, right? If you're building straight onto the floor like this, you have got to really think about how strong those walls are. You know, whether you're putting structural pillars in. If you're not, then you're running the risk. However, if you're only a foot above water, Gaz, a foot above above ground, and most of it's in ground, like at Ryan's place, for
Yeah,
example.
most of those. Well, it's
Most of it is actually in ground,
one block
right?
below, one block below, and 3 above.
Yeah, all right. But if you're going 10 blocks high,
Yeah. You're
all
just
right, and
gonna-
you're standing side on, all right, you've really got to think about where the force of the water is. So you have to be quite careful, right, in that, because your pond is more likely to fail if you're going the cheaper way, lighter bricks stood on the side, and you start going a metre high, right off the floor, you are asking for a lot of trouble. So, you know, the reason why I went side down like that, I didn't reinforce nothing. I didn't reinforce the base at all, and that was off of advice from my brother, who is a builder. He said, you don't need to do any of that. With the size water that you've got, you said it, it's like people are building a bomb bunker. And I could put a roof on that and live in it. It's built better than this house.
Yeah. Well, that was the point, mate.
You know, and to go into windows, all right, again, you pay what you get for. So the windows I've got are 1.8 metres wide by 80 centimetres deep. Right, but they are triple layered and they're ionized and they've got beveled edges. Right, so the more whistles and bells you put on it, the more money it costs. That cost me £8,500 a window. Right, but I don't get reflection, so when I'm filming, I don't get any reflection in that glass, or very limited. But the finish on the top is lovely. There's no sharp edges, and that also means that it's finished nicer. So the more you pay, the more whistles and bells you get.
Yeah.
Right. So you've got to be dead careful. What we don't want to do is get everyone building like with their blocks stood up just because it works for Ryan. He's only got 3 blocks higher water, Gas. When you're starting to go 1.5 meters deep.
No, I'm not. But that's
No,
what I mean.
I was just like,
it's an example, but I mean,
yeah.
Water pressure is equal to all sides of a given depth in a static non-moving fluid. Acting perpendicular to any surface encounters. This happens because fluid transmits forces uniformly in all directions. This is why neutral buoyant objects like fish feel equal pressure from all sides. Whilst the pressure is equal in all directions, the total pressure increases with depth due to the increased weight of the water column above. So all the pressure is at the lower base part.
That's what I'm saying. It forces down.
But it doesn't. Crafty, one of the comments you made earlier on, where the water goes down and pushes out to the sides, it doesn't push out to the side. Is it equal to the sides? Is what it is pushing?
Yeah,
in?
yeah. I was using the base of. It's just the best way of people understanding what happens.
That's the maximum
pushing it.
area at the base as to where all the pressure is, isn't it?
Yeah, that's where you need to reinforce the most in that bottom part of the pond. So, one way I've seen people do builds, and I don't know if it's right or wrong, And again, it's a way of thinking about this. When you do your first few layers, 5-6 layers, you lay your block side on, and then as you come up, you stand your blocks up, right? Because the main integral part has to be around the bottom. So again, it's another way of looking at it.
It's weird because it is definitely that there is no right or wrong. We definitely cover our asses because at the same time, when you think of like my pond there, 6 meters by 6 meters by 8 feet deep, and I've built it exactly the same as somebody that's building a 2 meter by 1 meter.
But that's it, mate. If you're doing a 2 meter by 1 meter, right, I ain't putting my block side on because your weight of water that's in there is not enough to push them over, right? Once that's pushed, when it's put together, you know, it's about the volume of the water in there as well.
This is a good one because this is something that we're all going to be coming up against in the next. Well, some of us are already below those temperatures, but so October is here to keeping the ponds working over winter. What temps are we saying? 18C. But, are we saying 18C? But many say that's the dodgy zone, i.e., the old statement that used to be what was this something alley.
Ramona's Alley.
Ramona's Alley, yeah, that's the one. So if we can where we go sitting over the winter 18 or down to 10 in anticipation.
That's what Colin wants.
If we can, where we're going to sit. All right. So where's the, in other words, where's the best temperature to sit at if you can maintain a temperature to not be in the possible Aramonis Alley? What's the best temperature?
The Aramonis Alley thing, right, is something that is Aramonis is the ulcer problem. So that bacterial problem is at its worst. 15 to 18 sort of degrees. In reality, someone like Colin's Pond
would never experience
hasn't got that problem at present. You haven't got lots of bacterial problems going on. The cost involved, if you've got to pay a lot of money to keep it at 18, you're not gaining a lot. You're not getting a lot of growth from your fish. You're not. So you might as well drop it down to a temperature where it's not costing so much at sort of 12, 14 degrees, and you'll benefit more. You're not going to get any growth. Once you've dropped out sort of the 20 degrees, you've dropped out the growing window. So what are you then trying to achieve? You might as well then go, well, actually, I can't keep it at that temperature with my heating system, my pond. Drop it down to a temperature where they're then going to go through the winter at 10 or 12 degrees. For 3 months, then do that, and then bring it back up to a growing temperature as quickly as you can when you can do that. It's easier to hold it at this time of year than it is in the spring.
Sorry, Matt. Jonathan just reminded me. Oh, Gaz, Matt just said you're not a serious hobbyist without a heater. Game over.
When did I say that?
We were talking earlier on. We were on about like serious hobbyists that have got, heaters in the ponds and the best. I'm not serious.
It is. Temperature is a massive thing, isn't it? If you can't control it, it's difficult, isn't it?
What's your shop water down to temperature wise, Rick?
Don't know.
Ours is 19 degrees at the minute.
In the shop? Nah, we're way off that. We're much colder than that.
Yeah, I'm 11.8 today.
I know. The polytunnels where we're doing the grow on, we're down to 17. So the shop would be, and the inside ones there. So we're probably down to 11, 12 degrees, I guess.
What about in your polys, Rick? Because we're still holding. We're holding 22, and we're not got the heating on yet.
Yeah, it's 17 in up the road. In the small, probably around 20 degrees, I should think, in the tunnels. But yeah, the shop, everything that's not under plastic or whatever, or under glass, it's 12, 13 degrees at best, I should think. Just guessing.
Whatever they're going to produce. They are such a nice film.
I'm glad you only flashed it up, guys.
It's a quick flash.
I've seen it. Don't worry.
To be fair, everyone in Japan is quite short. So Ryan is.
I saw a picture of him, I think it was last year at the awards, and I was comparing the heights of all the
Everyone's the same
Japanese,
size.
and he was literally just the tallest of the lot.
Is sponsored by Instant Vegas.
Crafty goes there, it's like a fucking giant.
Fat giant.
They're like, whoa, dude.
Almost sumo.
Simon Kennedy. Where in the north of England do you think has good cows?
Keep going down, Gus.
It's gonna turn.
There's another one.
If it's very tight and pay no interest, let's pick it sparkle.
That one. Oh dear. Yeah.
Hey, we got the junior koi show this weekend, didn't we?
Yes, we have, mate. Yeah.
Has anyone even mentioned the All England koi show?
No.
Now,
Well, you're the only one that were there, so we're waiting for you to come and. Oh, I did get a response. I did get a response from the chair about the BKKS last week, which was quite a long, detailed explanation about as why there was a valid reason. One of the things why some of the memberships were paused and why they were stopped, and to be completely fair, it made perfect sense.
Yeah. That's fair. And yeah.
It made perfect sense, didn't it? I mean, they did what they did to prevent people from being able to join just so that they could get a payout if there was going to be a payout. It made perfect sense. And it was nice of them to actually put in a comment and reply back to say as to what. If anybody wants to see it, if you go back to last week's live, the comment is in there with a detailed explanation as to what. It's way too much to be reading out like, but thank you very much for
Right, I'll address the elephant in the room, Gus, right? Because last week I reserved the right to not divulge what had been said in the proposals. So what I will say is I don't expect any keyboard warriors to put comments in slagging off the BKKS if you've never been part of the BKKS or supported the BKKS, because to be perfectly honest, your opinion don't really count because you're not part of that club. However, so people are aware what's happening, the BKKS has been. Is there a lot of background noise? Is it me?
a little bit, mate. Yeah.
It is you, mate.
Cal, can you turn it down a bit, please?
Yeah, Cal.
That'd be great.
Yeah, put some headphones on.
Yeah, put some headphones on, Cal. Stop being selfish.
Right, so the BKKS put out a time for a new committee to be formed quite some time ago. Nobody come forward to take over those positions. And because of that, the committee at the time moved into basic. Colin Holland said, Kelly, turn off the TV for fuck's sake. So the BKKS moved into, or the committee moved into a caretaking role only. Okay.
Yeah.
As a result, nobody's still come forward. All right. So therefore, it was basically decided some time ago that we need to work out what we're going to do going forward. Because if you haven't got a committee, you haven't got a club. That's how it works. Now, there's quite a hefty amount of money in a bank account that has been accumulated over a number of years. Now, some of that money has been accumulated from the success of the koi shows. Other money is through memberships and other stuff that goes on with like merchandise sales, etc. Now, proposals were then put in about what we should do. There was, I think, and I may be wrong in this, I think there was 4 proposals but after a little bit of to-in and fro-in, it was agreed. There was 5 proposals. After a bit of to-in and fro-in, it was agreed to go with one proposal on a basis that people that put the proposals in withdrew, basically. So it ended up being 2 proposals. Proposal 1 is that the BKKS, in a nutshell, disbands, and the funds there then get disseminated across all BKKS sections because they have to pay a fee to be a section, and whatever else is left, including equipment gets sold. The money that's in the bank, or remaining money in the bank, then goes out to all of the members. Now, people think that it's worth a huge amount of money, but actually, thousands of pounds don't actually go that far when you're spreading it across 400 or 500 people, right? I think it's 396 members. Okay, so it leaves you with a couple of £100 per member once the sections are paid off as well, because they have to get their share back because they put more money in. Right, so that basically means no koi show, no BKKS, any section which is a koi club then literally gets paid off, including the JSC, the Judging Standards Committee, because although they're affiliated to the BKKS, they too are a separate section. So the JSC are going to continue to be the JSC, all right? It just means that the business model on how they get booked, etc., has to change slightly. All right, but I'm not going to get into that because I don't know enough about it. I just know that they will still be in existence. The second proposal has been put forward by 2 committee members of the National Koi Show, where they've basically said they want to continue doing the National Koi Show under an unincorporated club. Basically, to put that into legal sense, you have to be an unassociated club in order to have a bank account. That's what you must have in place in order for a bank to say you can open an account. Amongst that, there's a few bullet points with regards to how to safeguard the transfer of the funds, because the funds actually belong to the members. The funds don't belong to the BKKS because the BKKS is a club. So therefore, any member within that club owns an equal amount of money per member, right? So what they're actually asking for, is for the members to vote on a set amount of money. I'm not going to disclose that because I don't think it's up to me to do that. It's a good whack of money, very good whack of money, but it's not all of what's in there, because certain things have to be paid off by that club with sections, etc. However, there's got to be a certain amount of guarantees involved in that. One of the things that they asked in there was basically that transfer to go from the BKKS into the National Koi Show, or the National Show, which is what they call itself. They don't want to trade. They don't want any new members for the first 2 years. However, they also didn't want people that are associated to trade to be members either. Right, so there's a few little things.
Yeah, so we're all getting a refund.
No, but it's actually not, all right, because what can't happen is, right, well, it can. What I've made an argument to that proposal. Well, actually, for the likes of me, you, Gaz, Lee Hadfield, Vincent, Twisted, we have been extremely vocal over the last 2-3 years, pushing memberships for the BKKS. My argument is that through the power of my social media, through my retail, bringing business to them, by me pushing the BKKS, I have probably been one of the most vocal and instrumental members of the club to try and get new memberships, as you ask, as Lee has, as Vince has.
who are paid members. All right. If Vince even is a paid member, I don't know.
No,
I
but
know Lee is. I know you are. I am. All right. So
Lee is.
So that proposal is singling me out, singling you out. It will be singling Lee out when his enterprise goes.
Vince is just putting
It singles Vince out if he's associated to Rick at New Forest, right? So actually, right, my argument goes back is not only that, but trade have supported the National Koi Show, and again, I'm not going to go into how much money, but it's a huge amount of money that trade bring to the BKKS National Koi Show year on year to an extremely profitable amount of money. They made £34,000 last year off of trade. All right. So to say that you want to transfer my share over to keep using a club, right, and say that clubs don't belong, retails doesn't belong to that club or can be anything associated to it, in my opinion, is unjustified. It's an unfair transfer of my fund because you're asking me to vote against something that I will have no control of going forward. And it'll be the same for you guys, same for Vince, etc., etc. That said, it was acted on very quickly. There's a lot more that I put in. I think my email is about 3 pages long, right, where I actually pulled apart that proposal down to legalities, safeguarding. But every point I made, I also backed it up with a safeguarding point to support the club, right? Because as far as I'm concerned, we don't want to lose another koi show. We haven't got many. And for me, I am more than willing to support it as long as all of the housekeeping is done properly, right? But that proposal has got to be so watertight that there can be no fallbacks. People can't piss off with that transferred money. I'm not saying it would happen, but you've got to safeguard against that, right? Because you're looking at transferring 50, 60 grand across to a koi show, right? That is giving a complete new club such a good amount of equipment and such a big injection of cash in order to get that off the ground. It's got to be looked after properly. Now, anybody that's a member of the BKKS will automatically become a patron of that club. But again, for me, the club shouldn't have no new members for 2 years, because that's like, right, there's 50, 60 grand, whatever the total is. See what you can do in 2 years. But then if it doesn't work, sorry, I'm going off. I'm disappearing. At least I'll give it a shot. That is not a projection on how, right, I want to make this work. That is, I've got this amount of money. Let's see what we can do, rather than let's make this work. Right. So for me, it should be, if you're going into a koi club, it needs to be a koi club, right? Irrespective. And actually, you should open your arms to dealers, because dealers and retail, irrespective of wet good or dry goods, they make half of the show what a show is. Yeah. Without the dealer ring on the outside supporting the show is just 60 bats of other people's fish. And you certainly ain't going to get the turnout for that. So if you turn your back on dealers, right? Road a little bit, Paul. If you turn your back on dealers, you're actually setting your stall out to fail, right? So what has happened is they have reversed that, and they are now saying they're looking at it. I certainly can become a member. So that means you can, that means Vince can, that means Lee Hadfield can. All right. The other thing is, if you're a member, Gaz, and you're not working as a dealer, what happens in 6 months' time you decide to open up a dealership? What happens to your share then? All right. So you cannot put those sort of ring fences in without it being discussed or put into a rule set. Also, if you're handing funds over from one account into another account, there has got to be a neutral third party as a treasurer or a second or third signatory before any money is spent to safeguard it. So little things like that is what I've written back for. As far as I'm concerned, it will have my support as long as it is done. And I would put this pedestal out now, Gaz, if you don't mind, to ask all the BKKS members to support the new show. All right. If there's certain things that need to be tidied up, in your opinions, please email back so we can get those proposals changed, ready for the vote. You know, we've really got to get behind it. Otherwise, we're going to lose another show. And we've only got 6 across the UK, or 7. You know, as far as I'm concerned, we get behind it as long as the safeguards are in place.
It's a no-brainer, though, isn't it? 100%.
Absolutely, mate.
National, but at the end of the day, like I say, it's got to be done in a way that's.
It's got to be fair.
It's got to be a business model that's going to go forward and work, isn't it?
But the thing is, those 2 committee members, they may step down after a year. Then what? We're just back to square one where we've got no show, right? We need to be able to grow it, push it, or let them.
It's sickening to see all that hard work that's happened for, what was it, 65 years that it's all been doing.
Well, the show 45 years, Gaz, yeah.
All that to go to waste as it's got better and better and better year after year after year, in my opinion. I mean, all right, some might say that's because of what you've made of it, but I don't really think it has. I think it has come on leaps and bounds year in, year out, and I think it'd be a crying shame to see something like that disappear off the calendar, so to speak.
Absolutely. Coy Bob is obviously a member, right? And again, Coy Bob, option B has too many various parts in the asset. I agree. All right. However, I also agree there's not enough time to make the changes. Now, I have also put that back in an email saying you put a proposal in. There's no time to debate, make changes in order for members to be happy before the voting opens. That there has to be a consultation period for members to voice against it and changes to be those changes to be allowed to be made before voting opens. And I've put that across, and I actually think it's quite a legality that they need to do that, because they're asking members to vote against something without being able to, one, have enough time to decide, or number two, make changes in order to make it pass. So
the vast majority of people there, Crafty, are agreeing with everything you've just said there.
You've got to make sure you've got to make sure, guys, as members, that you voice back. Right? Otherwise, you know, there's one thing that concerns me, right? Other koi shows see other koi shows as competition, right? Straight away, you have got to draw a line under that. That is bullshit. That is absolute bullshit. Koi shows are koi shows, right? A koi show will only succeed with the amount of work that you put in is what you'll get out, right? Simple as that, right? And that's been proven with the North of England koi show. This year, there's a lot of work going, and we see the numbers go up 150, 160%, all right? Now, that may not seem like a lot, but it actually, to go from, and forgive me if I got the numbers wrong, and I will have them wrong, but approximately 120 people to 650 people, just through the power of social media, pushing it, and a lot more work being done by the chairman, and reaching out and making people understand it's there, and putting those carrots out to get people in, right? It can work, right? The more you put in, the more you get out, right? And I don't want to see other sections or other koi clubs boycott the BKKS National Koi Show, all right, just because they think their show's better, all right? That is selfish. That is unfair, all right? And I'll put my nuts on the chopping block here, right? It shouldn't happen, because actually we've got a very small community of koi keepers, and they're quite prestigious. Every single show is something we should go to, and every single show should be supported by every single hobbyist, whether they do a koi show or they don't.
Yeah, I mean,
for president.
And that's the whole point of it. Inside ones, outside ones. Like, you can't attend them all, but you back them all, and you attend.
Absolutely. Yeah.
And that's
Why is there a reason? Collins asked there is why did the people running the BKKS stand down?
Okay, so again, I don't think there's been enough back work to have a proper understanding. But looking into this, I think that I read other proposals, and believe it or not, YouTube has got a fucking really bad slag. Right? There was something in there that said like the proposals got withdrawn. All right, so they don't stand for nothing; it's just words. But YouTubers, we don't need an influencer to push the koi hobby. Well, actually, that comment, who that was made by, I know who it's made by, but let me tell you this, right? The power of social media is so much more than fucking putting an article in a magazine in today's age. People watch YouTube. People look at Facebook. People look at Instagram. People look at Twitter. People look at what's the other one?
Tickety tockety.
Yeah, TikTok. All right. Kids are involved in it. Right. More and more people are using it. All right. And that is how things
There's more
grow.
people tune into YouTube, mate, than any other social network worldwide.
Absolutely right. So to say that you don't need a YouTuber or social media that's absolute bollocks, and that is one reason why the BKKS failed, because it didn't keep up with the times. And the reason why it didn't keep up with the times is because too many old and bold people that aren't involved in business in any way, all right, have this thing that when a new YouTuber comes on that speaks bollocks, right, they'll say that they're shit and they speak bollocks and YouTube shit. Well, actually, what should have happened is the BKK should have got behind YouTube and empowered information through their own channel to say, it don't matter what he's saying, this is the stamp that the BKKS put on it. This is the standard that you should do. This is the information that you should follow. But they failed to do it. The other part is people did not want to get into those positions because social media and keyboard warriors are fucking evil.
Yeah.
Right. And let's just look at the judging. All right. Judging number one. Right. Judges put their own time, their own effort, their own research, their years of dedication into the koi to go and judge, only for a YouTuber to come along and say, what the fuck's that? And he's like, because he's overheard a group of hobbyists that are very biased because their fish is better than the next fish. All right. And then all of a sudden, judges just get a fucking myriad of abuse on social media. Number one. It's not the way that it's done. Number two, well, it is the way that it's done, right? If somebody like the chairperson of the BKKS put a post out about something, right, and then there's a disagreement, you was talking about golden corn earlier, all right? BKKS chairman put a new variety comes on, and then there's a myriad of abuse because that's an unstable bloodline, blah, blah, blah. People don't want the shit. They just want to be part of an hobby. And I think that part is what people have not stepped into. They don't want to be part of being on the end of someone's keyboard sword.
Well, that's standard, isn't it? The minute you write something, you dig in your own grave, isn't you?
Yeah.
Because as many people support you as want to knock you down. But that's when you put your face out here and you're going to get praised or slated, whichever way you do it, isn't it?
I also want to say that Rob Whittle, the chairman of the BKKS that is standing down or stood down, done an absolute fabulous job. He actually done about 3 or 4 committee positions for nearly 5 years because no one would step into that seat. So he carried it on as long as he could. And the other question is, who knows what the chairman of the BKK has done? Who knows?
You do, because you did the job description.
That's correct. I created a job description for it. All right. But actually, who actually knows what they do? Nobody. So when you're saying who wants to be the next chairman, if you don't know what you're going in for, then people will naturally push away from it because they don't want to show their ass, right?
I think the only people. Well, I think there's a certain category of people, Crafty, that are only can give the time that is needed to be dedicated towards being a part of that kind of thing. A certain
Right, Gus.
person, i.e., somebody that's either part time or somebody that's retired. Because most of us, I mean, damn, I do 12-hour days. I do 8 hours at work and an hour and a half. So there's sometimes 2 hours of traveling. But when have you got time for everything else when you're doing social media as well as to be involved in something, even if I wanted to?
You have hit the nail on the head, Gus. Right?
That's the hardest thing.
When you look at the demographic of when there was a huge amount of interest in koi across the UK because there was more money, houses were easier to buy, so people had more the ability to build ponds. People also didn't have social media, right? The way that work has moved into your homes more over the last 10, 15 years has meant that more people work at home after they've finished work, alongside running a family and on top of stuff.
Yeah.
Right, time has got more and more precious, and free time has actually got less and less and less.
Yeah.
Right, so having the ability to do it is very difficult.
People are
laughing at Mark's comment.
Absolutely, mate. You know, it's like we do this out of the kindness of our hearts, right? But actually, if you're all representing a company like we are, we could actually bill our company, right, for the time that we're putting in, because at all times we are promoting our company.
Let me make a log of the time.
Sorry, Ryan. I do it for free. All right, but when you look at like everything, the BKKS did not move with the times. That's the whole reason why it collapsed. Now, can I share something, Gus?
Yeah.
What's going on there?
We're over there. Oh, that's why camera we're changing for us.
Right, so
I don't do
that. I'm going to forward you something, mate. All right. This is not finalised in any way, shape, or form. However, I have been very busy.
Crafty's been busy.
I hope you're not trying to refer to that as work. You see what I did there, Mark?
Oh, hang on a sec, mate. I wasn't prepared for this, to be fair, because I wasn't going to say anything, but while we're on it, might as well.
So how was the All England?
The All England.
It was superb. Absolutely superb.
Good
I'll come
turnout.
back to it. Superb turnout. The quality of the fish was the best in the country so far. Better than the National, better than the Great British Koi Show that I went to. The fish was superb. Absolutely better. Share that for me, Gus.
Boom.
Right. It's frozen.
Okay, so everyone knew I was opening up a section for veterans. However, that was before it was decided that the BKKS was no more. Okay, so the Veterans Club is being sidelined or forgotten about. Lee had that. That is not the finished article, by the way. This is just a mock-up.
Lee's going to make it better.
No, it's just a mock-up, right? So this is just an idea. So what I want to achieve with the BKKS, where they got it wrong, is in every aspect that I'm going to cover now. So the pentagon shape, every point covers part of the koi community. Okay, so I want to find, when I say find, become the founding member of a UK koi club. Top point will belong to the JSC. So top point, the Judging Standards Committee will, everyone becomes part of the team, all right, I part of the club, but there will be different sections within the club. So the top point will be the JSC, where we're looking to bring on koi talking, koi appreciation, tips on selecting, that sort of thing. All right. So we've got the ability to share information through the JSC, which the BKKS also done on their website, right? For those people that can get into the members area. Second point, Gaz, where you got your pointer, grassroots, right? So you don't have to be an all singing, all dancing koi keeper. It's entry level koi hobbyists that want to be part of a club to expand their knowledge. All right, so grassroots. Point number 3 is experienced koi keepers stroke show enthusiasts. Right, so these people, because the show enthusiasts are completely different to people that keep koi, right? Because they're going through a checklist in order to get the best fish for competition. It's the same in anything. You want the best in competition. However, experienced hobbyists can also fall into that because their knowledge will allow them to understand more about fish development, structure, patterns, varieties, etc., etc. So that will be another team of people within the club. Next point, retail stroke dealers. I want to try and get as many dealers involved in the UK Koi Club as possible. There will have to be some comeback from those dealers to be part of the UK Koi Club. In other words, I would like to try and to entice membership, allow the dealers that become part of the club to offer a 10% discount across all dealers that are part of the club on koi purchases. On top of that, vouchers for new members or yearly subscribers. That bit was all fine-tuned. This is all just skeleton put together, where they can have money off vouchers against, 20% off the first £100 purchase on dry goods, or words to that effect. But also have the ability for koi clubs to work together. So if they decide they can come together to put an event on to sell fish, little bit similar to what Rick's doing in a couple of weeks' time, where a few dealers are going down and they're supporting Rick, in order to help whatever club is created there to come in and buy fish and show that dealers can work together. There'll be caveats involved to ensure that there's no dealer bashing, to public, etc. We are part of a club, right, and we want to be part of an all-inclusive community. Last point, Gaz, where would you put it?
The last point,
Put it there.
Yeah.
just about there.
Yeah, but what would you put as the last? What group of people would you put in the last point?
The public, mate.
No, because the public are all members. Everyone's members. They will fall within part of this team. Well, not teams, but per se. This is
amazing.
So this is going to be social media.
Banging. So digital content creators will also have their own team, right? So that means they can become part of the UK Koi Club, all right? They can brand a seal on there. However, UK Koi Club can also put out information, right, or put a disclaimer in that this is not an opinion of the UK Koi Club. This is an individual opinion, but I am part of this club, and we can then share the knowledge through the social media platforms, all right, as part of the club's events that I want to put together. On top of that, if we do a live like tonight, the club can actually do a closed forum event where we get dealers in, judges in, guest speakers like maybe Andy Finch, for instance, or discuss a topic in a closed environment on social media.
I'm going to say, is that one thing that might now actually be allowed to happen, and people with the knowledge being able to fecking well share it?
Right, but this is what it took, right? So there's no other society in the way. There's no hurdles in the way. There's no branded seal of the BKKS anymore being the sovereign. All right, but what we need is people to join. All right, and I think that from this model that I've started to map out, that I've covered pretty much as many points of the hobby that I can to be part of one entity. Okay, now there's probably.
Sorry.
There's always going to be, all right? There's always going to be some tricky
I'm not joining.
Now, the committee, as far as I'm concerned, should have a member from every single one of those points. Ideas can be banded from the floor up, but the committee will be part of every single point of that. So a voice is heard on social media, a voice from the JSC, a voice in retail, a voice in show enthusiasts, and whatever the last one was. Right. So that will always be part of the committee. Everybody has got a voice. Now, the only thing that can't happen is dealers can't have access to any of the show and any of the membership funds. Now, what I also want to do is I want to put in a 3-stage membership tier, right? Bronze, silver, gold. All right. So bronze, you become a member where you basically are part of the UK Koi Club and will get access to closed discussions on YouTube, or part of a UK Koi Club meeting, or whatever that ends to happen. You can be part of that.
No,
Silver.
This is the most important question of the evening. If we join, do we get a free pond bomb?
I'm getting to it.
Yeah.
All right.
Every member.
So every member, yeah, you know what I mean. Right. If you become a silver member, you will get a T-shirt to say that you're part of the UK Koi Club. I've yet to talk to Yasu Koi. I would like them to become part of it as a retailer. You will get. Hopefully, we've still got discussions to go on. You will get a copy or a subscription to either Joe's magazine or Liam's magazine. All right, still got to talk to these people, but this is my ideas. A pen, a sticker, and also a discount card and discount vouchers. All right. You'll also be part of anything to do with closed groups. Basically, anything in bronze you get in silver, but you get all the extra merchandise on top. All right. If you become part of gold
and platinum.
Yeah, if you go into gold, all right, then gold will buy you early access to any dealer event, such as if they're doing a grow and show, you will be guaranteed to be one of the first picks, right? So there will be UK Koi Club event at a grow and show, for example. There's a pot of ball for all of the gold members, so you will guarantee one of the first picks, depending on how many gold people go in there. Anyone after that, because you've paid into a gold membership as part of the club, that the dealers will be part of as well, that run these events. And not only that, but you will also get additional money off vouchers at the dealers, right? For me, that is like so much more already, just based on what I've said and what the BKKS could offer as a society. Right?
I love your passion, mate, but this idea is good, but you're going a bit far forward.
No, I don't think we are. I don't think we are, Rick.
I think the concept's great, but we don't need to know the membership stuff yet. Let's just
but this is my ideas. I said this is not out there yet.
I love it.
But if I go down that route, right? So if £10 buys you a membership, but then £25 buys you a silver membership, and £35 buys you a gold membership, if I got 50 people involved there, mate, done the math already on that, based on most people getting a silver, after all the outgoings to cover the costs of merch, etc., putting a platform together where we can have 200 or 300 people in a meeting online, all right, I can still end up with a club bank account of $2,500 to move into the next period, right? So if I can grow that amount of money, all right, then that creates a base where we can potentially put our own shows on, all right? But at the moment, BKKS give you nothing for £10. And £10 didn't do nothing.
Yeah, I get that. I just think that I think we need to just
slow it down. No. But if you're going to aim high, mate, and set standards and make it the next big thing. People want to be part of something.
Concept's great, mate, but let's
people want to be part of something, though. But I promise we will make that happen. Right. When it goes out, so dealers will be notified. As soon as I've got it all sorted out, I will write to dealers to become part of it. All right. once they're involved, I'm then going to put out a prestigious founding members package. So for the first 50 people, they will also get a limited or a prestigious founding member T-shirt and a badge that they can then like brag about them in 50 years' time. They can still be a founding member if they're still alive. All right. There's so much we can do, and this is just one person looking into it. All right. So if we get enough passion together from everyone, look at what we can achieve.
I agree with you, mate, but you're doing little fine points before we got.
No, I've done a lot more than that, Rick. You ought to see the project I've put together already. But
He's
I want to do as much
busy.
as I can.
He's been PowerPointing it, practicing his presentation in living room to missus and family.
I've got letters written out already, ready for emails. I'm serious about it, man.
Oh, why the hell not,
we need to see where the BKKS goes and what's going on. And
BKKS is finished. Shit bust. It's gone. There is no BKKS anymore. The only thing that's going to happen is potential for a show. That's it. And if that vote don't get passed, it's gone. So they don't want anything more other than a koi show. So as far as I'm concerned, I'm going to show the BKKS what they could have been with a little bit of thought and passion behind it, because not involving social media and bringing all the modern times.
Probably heard enough at this point. It's got to keep.
Sorry, mate. Mate, I'm so passionate about it all that, for me, I think that we need to share that as much as we can. And I think everyone here needs to be part of it and push it as well. If we get, right, look at this, right? So one thing I looked at, right? There's 396 members of the BKKS, Rick, right? How many YouTubers are there? Fucking shitloads. How many views combined do they get? Well, I know that around average, I get around 2,000 to 2,200 views. 96% of that is in the UK. So if I'm getting 96% of 2,200, there's 96% potential members there. But if you're not getting nothing for the money, then you ain't getting the membership. Simple as that.
I'm not disagreeing with you, mate. I'm just your passion is just all right.
Passion is
right.
Passion.
Let's look at some fish for a minute, and then
let's do some koi appreciation, and then you can continue being passion when you're talking about it in your sleep.
We just don't want to alienate.
I dare bet you've got a lot more that you want to push out there, mate. But
that's enough, to be fair, Gus. Like I say, I weren't prepared for that. I weren't. If I was going to do anything, it would have been with a few more flash ups for us to share, but
okay.
Not wrong with that, though, mate. At the end of the day, it's what
those bangers and mash have sorted you right out, haven't they?
Yeah, haven't they? Fueled him. Right then, let's get into tonight's koi appreciation, which is going to be Aragoki koi. And this is the first one. Say again?
I'm straight in, aren't I? It's one of mine.
You're straight in. Straight in is our Rick's from New Forest Koi, which is his first one. A little Aragoki belly.
It's definitely a Tosai.
Is he in a teacup? Oh no, he's straight up.
That is small.
That. Did you see the size of the hand?
Yeah, that was a giant.
Don't tell me that's fucking 2 years old.
No, it's Sansai now.
3 years old. Doing well there,
man. Boy.
Look at scalation on that.
Oh, yeah, it's nice, isn't it?
It is nice, yeah.
You've got to play a game, innit? That's about 4 centimetres long.
Mate, imagine that at 60 centimetres.
That's what I like about Ricky. He even finds beauty in miniature as well.
Absolutely. It all starts from there, doesn't it?
It does, mate, yeah. A little still photograph.
I'm not sure why I did the photo, to be fair.
A Ginrin Aragoki do the hokey cokey. Put your hands in your pockets and buy a koi. That's what it's all about.
There you go, isn't it?
Regan Malthouse's first one here. Oh, second one. Something with a bit more body to it, bit slightly bigger.
It's the same fish, a year older, isn't it?
It could well be, Rick, couldn't it?
I'm only joking.
Still got the same amount of water in the bowl and all.
It didn't fit in the sieve.
There we go. That's the second one. We haven't got that many by the look of it, to be completely fair. Amanda Smith.
You're joking.
I thought there'd be loads of these.
Oh, look at that.
That's pretty banging, isn't it?
That's pretty nice too.
That's superb. Who's that from?
That's Amanda Smith's.
Yeah, it's nice. I'm under that.
That is nice. Lovely big scalation on that.
You like scales on your fish?
That's very neat scalation for an Aragoki, isn't it?
Yeah, that's lovely.
I like that one.
Imagine that swimming past your window that no one likes.
Deutz Metallic Achiba Aragoki. I wonder where you got this one from, Paul.
Yeah, I wonder where that picture's from.
Well, I've seen that before somewhere.
Yeah,
I've
he
seen
had to
that
be
on an
the week
auction.
for his. There we go. Little bang of that one, mate. Lovely.
Can we see it swimming?
Ikarashi Toshinobu.
Not Ikarashi Toshinobu.
Michael Thompson's picked up at the All England Koi Show from Crafty. Didn't ask the breeder, but he might be able to tell you. Is this
Kobayashi.
Is that Kobayashi's? Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
No,
So
Panama.
are you calling that metallic or not? Is that
I'm
someone
calling that a fucking Aragoki, mate.
I know, but
It has got gin in it, mate. It's got strong gin in it.
got gin in it, but
it's got guinea, but it does look like it's got a bit of metallic luster to the pectorals, doesn't it? But not.
No, but I don't think it has. I think that's transparent.
It's transparent.
The translucent, but they have got a bit of a
Sorry, that's what I meant. Sorry.
metallic sheen to them.
Translucent, transparent, and metallic.
It's all the same, isn't it?
Jason Perry's.
Oh,
That's nice. Nice scalation on that too.
we got a video.
I hope so. Ah,
It's not real. Yeah, there you go. Nice linear.
Yeah, but it's that Aragoki.
now then, is that Aragoki or is that because this section is
It's quite
Scales
tight.
on the half the actual line is Deutz.
Correct.
oh
But we'll call it Aragoki tonight.
Why?
Because we're desperate. For
why
fish.
not?
There's only 6 entered.
There's only 6
Mate,
entered.
it's a
But
fucking
we do
banging
also-
fish, isn't it?
Hang on, no, there's some further back. Go back in your old Facebook.
There is some that have been posted but not posted actually in here. They've
Well,
been
Dave,
posted
I know Dave Rocket Boy posted
in
one.
here.
He definitely posted it in the wrong place.
He did.
Definitely.
What the hell?
Not there.
I seen him posted in the group. Ah, there we go.
There he is. There he is. Look at that.
That's
How many
nice,
kids
Rick.
series you see look like that?
Not many.
No.
How much will people be prepared to pay for that, Rick?
About 100 quid at tops.
I'm surprised you didn't get the special fish from last
I couldn't
UFAS.
catch it, mate. It's gone black. I haven't seen it for weeks.
Better
I
not
think
have
there's
done.
another one as well posted. There we go.
Here we are.
Ryan Clarkson.
Not but that's all right, isn't it?
That's lovely.
Ryan Clarkson's
Lovely
that one.
boy.
I must get an award for the most amount of my fish in one category.
I think you should, Rick. That's another nice one, that, again. I'm just going to double check and see if there's another one further down because I'm pretty... Oh, it's same. Is it the same?
Colin Holland obviously hasn't got one, has he? Colin, where's your has he?
He couldn't get to the shop.
Same
today.
one. Posted
Colin,
twice.
where's your Aragoki, Colin?
And then we've got Susan's.
Butterfly
Long
Aragoki. Oh, mate, that's got to be a winner, surely.
Well done,
Butterfly
Susan.
Aragoki.
Is it big or is it in a lunchbox?
That's a big Tupperware tub.
That's a 1 metre Tupperware tub, that.
And then second one,
Is this Susan in America?
yeah.
Just checking they weren't mine. I haven't sent any there. Again, it's like linear, isn't it? But we can't be too. We can't be. Can't be.
And then we've got
Oh bloody hell!
the ones that I've done this evening.
Oh, there you go.
Oh, we'll pick one out of the bowl.
Well, actually, all these fish, I've got individual videos from as well. But all these fish, if anybody is interested, are available for a buy it now price of 125 quid each. If you're interested, let me know.
I like the come on, Ryu. Gimrin. Yeah, I quite like that.
Yeah, can't see it now, though, Gus.
We can see them individually.
£125, mate.
Yeah. You want it, Rick?
Nah, you're right. I got one of them. Got one of them. I do like the Komomri one though. Is that a Tobiashi Akabaki?
Ikarashi Toshinobu.
Hey, that one. I think that made quite a cool big fish, wasn't it?
Yeah, that's nice, that one, isn't it?
It keeps its blue as well.
Nice.
It's not auction, it's a buy it now price. They never said there was any offers or we were going to start bidding. Alan, it was a straight price. If anybody interested in these fish are for sale, contact me. And let me
my
know.
Gimrin Benigoy is £125. I'll find it.
And so it should be. I totally agree.
It's 5 centimetres long, mate.
That would be nice, big.
Yeah, that's what I thought. It's a real nice bronzy colour, that one.
Matt, what do you think of that?
I'm being honest now. I've seriously gone off them.
I don't like that one.
Is that because you've not got none to put in, Matt?
Well, I've sent you one.
He's got a cracker. He bought it off me years ago.
That's metallic.
That's quite cool.
That's full on metallic, isn't it?
Yeah, it is, yeah.
So what's going to be the difference between non-metallic and metallic for growing them?
What do you mean? You lost me.
And then the last one, which is very similar to the one the gentleman posted earlier.
So the bloodlines, Rick, obviously you're going to have a difference in genetics potentially through metallic and non-metallic, right? So how much difference will that have in the growing potential of each fish in the same environment?
All of them were metallic.
Yeah,
they're all grew from the same spawning, apart from the Komomri.
I want about from my fish to that fish.
Your fish? Oh shit!
Not my personal fish, but
Crafty's got.
Yeah, but that was a cross. That was a metallic cross, non-metallic.
So what's the growing? So when we're looking at the fish, when we start to think of their growing potential, what have we got to look at with regards to metallic versus non-metallic or the cross?
Generally, a non-metallic will grow better than a metallic long term.
Oh, look at that little
Oh shit! It doesn't look like that no more.
Is it an Aragoki?
Jesus Christ! I haven't seen that for a while. No, yeah. I'm gonna have to do a before and after, mate, and how much the refund's worth.
If anybody's wondering what fish that is, on the intro video, there's Matt doing a bid on a fish, and that's his sneaky fish he's bidding on. It doesn't look like that now. Does it look better, or?
I'll tell you what, wait, present it, bring it out for the 18th.
Yes, I'd like to see that.
Yeah.
That's a good idea. That
it looks quite nice, but it looks like it's almost solid.
Has it lost? Oh, okay. I was going to say, has it lost its skin?
If it's shit, I'll put it back up for auction.
Yeah.
Right, this one before. These are Kobayashis.
They are.
They remind me of something out of Doctor Who, wouldn't they?
Yeah, Mark, that is the one from last year, that one, mate.
Yeah, I'll bring it back out on the 18th, but the brown has come right up on it.
Has it really?
Yeah, it does look. It's just like I'm quite surprised I've just seen it there. Craft, is mine in the bottom of that? Have you cropped it out?
No, it's not. No, yours ain't in there.
That's new. These new ones.
Nope.
These are the secret stash that is had hid in the store.
They are something. Love them or hate them, aren't they? They are mental.
Oh, shite, wrong way.
Oh.
All England Koi Show, first class in size. Which look at that, man. That is a banger.
Look at the difference.
That's not one of them. Fuck off.
That is the same fish, Rick.
That's this fish, Rick.
Bollocks.
That is that, mate. I'll tell you now. That is that fish. That's the only one in there that was from that. That picture was taken.
I'm going to show you the one I brought off you, mate. Yeah, ain't gonna look like that.
That is fucking lovely.
That was taken That was bought 2 years
you
ago.
can tell, definitely. Look at scalation. The
Yeah.
scalation there, and there.
Look at the difference in transformation, man. Absolutely, I couldn't believe it.
They've got to be rubbing their hands together, haven't they, from that? Because Jesus,
he paid $650 for the Nisai 2 years ago, and that's what he's created. He's got a big body of water. He feeds really well.
Look at the scale there.
Yeah, that's mad, isn't it? But that's what you've
100%.
got to learn, isn't it? Well,
That's why I wanted to put it in.
Wow.
That's why I wanted to put it in, because it really shows that the fish that you buy may not be with the fish that you end up with. But if you end up with that, who's going to moan? You know, what an absolute fantastic fish.
Is that from the same batch that I got my one from? Is that not?
No, it's so same breeder, but the year prior.
What a fish that is, man.
What a fish.
Dave, congratulate Dave. I'm going to put a little Facebook post out for that, mate. Dave,
you can. That's my boy.
You tell him, Dave. Is that the same fish or not, mate? Because
100% that's the same fish. You can tell by scalation pattern, man. It's identical. Just changed so much colour, hasn't it?
I was blown away. It's a shame Dave weren't at the show, mate, because I was absolutely blown away by it. The only reason that didn't pick up the best Deutz fish is because foreign judges that go to that show do not appreciate Aragoki.
Don't blame them, but to be fair, that's
says guys dropped on Facebook.
Yeah, how can Aragoki Koi not put any Aragoki in when it's his? You should have hundreds.
He has got quite a lot, to be fair.
Yeah,
mate, that's a great change to see from that to that.
Absolutely, another level, isn't it?
So, Rick, are you just teasing me then? It's my fish just gone. Mwah.
No, yours is dog shit, mate.
Bar of gold, Dave. Stunning that, mate. And this is
you hit zero in the bag, though. Oh.
Here's one for you guys. When you're handling your little fish, have the face towards your body so it rests on the palm of your hand. Get so much more control. Lovely.
Yeah.
Don't see many of them either, do you?
Not mate. You don't see many of them, do you? At all.
You will soon. I've got shitloads coming. I think I sold into this a bit too far.
No, I don't, mate. Mate, the amount of people love them, Rick. And at your prices, mate, they should fly out, mate.
Yeah, should do.
And that's the end of that one. What we're going to do for next week's Koi Appreciation?
Ooh. Youngest koi you can fit in a sieve.
Smallest fish you've got. Who can beat Brickley's smallest little?
Hang on, well, who's? Hang on, I've got a. Guys, Colin sent you a fish. He said.
Oh, Colin sent one now. Hang on.
One second, mate. I certainly can. Do-do-do.
Oh, hang on, don't put that up, Gus. Oh, good night. That would be all right.
Bear with me 1 second. I'll do that. I'll do that.
I am chin strapped, man.
Will you send me another one then, Crafter?
I just sent it to you, mate. Maybe it's gone. Hang on a minute, mate. I bet that's.
Yeah, it hasn't come through yet.
I bet it's gone to. What's that, mate? You can't do it on there, can you? I'll do it this way, mate.
Is this fish gone already? And he went for a wee.
It just
Was it that?
send me another one.
Oh, I don't know. Might not be able to do it, mate. It's 1 minute odd long.
Oh,
I know that's gone.
is it gone?
Yeah. So it's obviously not in HD.
Oh,
I was quite surprised that one actually.
I do like that one that's changed to a Yamabuki from a ghosty. I think Colin's stretching that.
He fucking ain't.
this is the thing I was meaning earlier on. What defines it from being Aragoki because it's just got bigger scales to being Deutz?
To me, that is fucking stunning, but it's Deutz.
Yeah.
But
Just,
we don't want to upset Colin, so disqualify it.
Oh, look at that one side of it. Oh, damn.
The one at the bottom's fully Aragoki.
Oh,
This one.
Oh, that's nice, man.
and we sneaked in with another.
I like the second one more, Colin. That's nice, mate.
They're both absolutely.
Well, no, for me, the pattern and the scalation on the second ones, they're both very, very nice.
Colin's got some banging fish, hasn't he?
If we're going to celebrate the scalation, surely Craft.
How about the last one, guys? I just sent you one. I wasn't going to enter it, but if Colin's doing it, I'm going to do late entries.
That's bad admin, that is.
Last one, and then we're wrapping up for the evening, ladies and gents.
Yeah.
So somebody think of a koi appreciation for. Look at this one. This is Matt's blank one. Oh, well, that was worthwhile sending him, mate. Again,
That's got a good bit of potential out of it, Matt, isn't it?
that has on it.
You told me you ain't got none of them.
I haven't. I sold it last week.
No, disqualified. God damn you. Richard Perkins says he's put a couple on.
Good old Rich.
Has it got all its goals?
Where have you put it if you
I
are?
looked yesterday.
If everybody could do me a huge favour, and the bit
Do
where
it,
I put the video and talking about the night's fish that we're going to do, just post them by going to this bit here, look, where you see it, he says, that's now gone. God damn it. Where's my old
Have we done Shisui yet, Gaz?
I don't think we have, mate. No.
He doesn't
There you
like
go.
them. Jeez.
There we go. Shisui then next week. That's a nice one as well. Shit, I've just sold an Aragoki one. Damn it.
Stewie.
Somewhere in there was a comment, but like you see here where it says good afternoon all, if you just go there and click a comment, and when you click on a comment there, you can actually just go to this bottom box here, click on the little camera and attach your video in the comment section, and that way then I'm not going up and down. Just if you've got your video and you've got it balled up, just wait till you see me drop the post that says on this week's Koi Appreciation, guys, blah, 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 and just drop it in there. All you need to do is go to this little camera down there at bottom, click on that, and then you can upload any picture, any video, whatever you want.
Just
If you're doing it by your mobile, it will allow you to drop your picture in straight from your photo.
Much
album.
more fun when you do it late at night on the day.
you got to help Gaz out, being a new kid on the block.
Well, yeah, being a new kid on
Did you
block,
not see my comment, Gaz?
it's a bit difficult.
Did you not see? Did you not see my comment?
No, not yet.
New kid on the block. It was right at the start. Here's the new kid on the block. Right? Did you not see their best song, "The Right Stuff"? Oosh. So you could have got that in there if you knew about it.
Stuff.
Yeah, you know what I mean. I would
What
have
was
just
the
stuck with
that
that.
song then, Crafty? Come on,
I don't fucking know, mate.
hanging tough.
Oh, you hang
Oh
tough,
my
yeah.
God. Here we go.
God,
The old guys are
Hey.
coming out with their clunkers now, aren't
is he in here?
they? Right then, ladies and gents. That's the end of the Koi Appreciation. I'm sorry, mate. Can't find them, can't see them. And that's the difficult bit about it. If they don't all get put in the one place, they all get spread around all over the place. And it takes me an absolute lifetime to try and find them all. And it's not the best of entertainment for me to sit there doing it while you guys are trying to watch me doing what we're doing. So it just makes life a little bit easier. And if you can't do that, if you can't post them there, you can always email them me. And my email address is on my Facebook group. And my YouTube channel, which is Gather's Koi Pond 1 at proton.me.
That's perfect sense. That. So, Crafty, is the BKKS meeting on the 18th? Did you say?
I think that people may have asked for it to be moved. So if it gets moved, Rick, I'll be there the whole weekend.
Nice. Well, not nice. Nice to admit. I love that you're there.
Yeah, no, I want to be there. I want to be there anyway, mate. Yeah, I want to be there, dude, because you've supported me. I want to support you back, you know?
I love it. We've got each other's back. We're like Brokeback Mountain.
Well, none of that funny business. That's only for me and Mr. Hadfield.
Is he in? He's in Japan, though, isn't he? Dirty stopper.
Yeah, he's going out on the 14th, yeah.
The day, just a quick one.
Are you going, Gaz?
What's that, mate?
Are you going?
To the Koi show this weekend? No, mate. I'm finally finishing my bathroom off.
No, to Rick's. Are you going down for
Oh,
Rick's
yes.
the weekend?
Yeah.
You are?
Yes,
Oh, cool. That's cool.
He's got a bivvy his own. Bivvy his own. Bivvy his own.
Vivid.
Bivvy. We're not doing it on the lake. We're doing it on the lawn.
Oh, yeah. Oh, even better. Yeah.
It's not really bad, but it'll be all right.
Won't be wet.
Cold.
Fall in lake.
It's a month later. Last time it was bloody freezing. It was in September.
Yeah.
It was pissing it down as well, wasn't it?
It's forecast bad weather, isn't it?
Is it? They're not.
Guys sent you the poster in Messenger.
Come on, Rich. Don't give up.
Have you seen Colin's comment, Rick?
Oh, mate. No. I can't see any comment. Why do people... I've got no comments. If I look at the comments, I go silent.
But Colin said, why has he not had an invite?
He's your +1, isn't he?
Oh, there you go. We're in, Cole.
And this
I'll
is
take
the
him.
that they're talking about. Ricky and the Koi Factory.
Oh, brilliant. That's absolutely brilliant, mate.
I didn't do it.
It doesn't matter who did it. That's perfect.
I've only just noticed the gold and silver tickets either side. That's not real. I don't know what that's about.
It doesn't apply, but you can get a ticket, just not gold or silver. Right then, ladies and gents, thank you very much, all of you, for joining us again this evening. Usual thing to Crafty, to Rick, and to Matt. Thank you very much for coming along and hosting this evening with us. Usual thing, guys, if you could do us a huge favour, make sure you send in next week your pictures of your Shisui. So that'll be something interesting to look at. And we'll hopefully have a good number of fish. And on those, I don't think we've got any left. I don't think we've got any Shisui. I don't think we've got one left. Crap.
You've
I
got
don't
some somewhere.
No, don't think we have. Don't think we've got any at all.
I got a few. You can buy one.
I might actually be interested in one with the Ginrin on the zip grip, because the ones that we're looking at over there look pretty damn nice, mate.
I want to look at your yummies.
So, before these guys kick off another conversation, usual thing, guys, if you've been enjoying this kind of conversation and this topic and these lines of information and everything we've been giving out,
And rants.
and rants and everything else, and
Don't
mad
forget
crazy
the-
idea about koi clubs, do us a huge favour. Like, share, subscribe, tell a friend, and until next week, guys, keep smiling, and we'll catch you on the next one. Good night, all.
Right.
See you all next week.
Hopefully, I'll be lighter.
Lighter.
What, grayer?
Darker, greyer.
That's
This has been one hell of an experience. Have a look at that. New change in the garden. Made a little seat there. Into the little bush. So you can sit inside. And the other pond.